been creeping in here? For how long?
Like,
For how long?
I don't know. 5 minutes or so.
Oh God, you heard everything, Will.
I heard
You
that
guys
the
are
Rockets
driver
are
now?
fucked.
We were being cautiously optimistic.
I know.
I am like 2 minutes from my home, but I'm
We
on
can
my-
start.
I'm on my phone. Yeah, we
The
can go.
first part of this is housekeeping, because there's a couple things I forgot.
So Hunter's dead now.
There's there's still a lot of Agalor. Okay, this is gonna be weird because
The
there's
whole
some.
thing hinges around him.
Yes,
Like,
yes,
90 years.
Yes.
Well, he had a lot of shit that he wasn't telling us.
he has a lot of shit in play, and I'm looking at the housekeeping here, and he's got some. There's some Agalor specific things here.
You better find a plan B for those, because I guarantee you're never going to get around to them.
I mean, we'll see. So let me see. Okay, so first thing is Agalor. I don't even want to say this out loud. Like, this is something only he knows. So I'm just gonna text him this.
Can we not play the campaign unless we know? Like this next part?
No. This is something. It's not. That.
All right.
This session is not hinged on this.
Yourself. Fuck
Okay,
Agalor.
I'm not gonna say this part. Crew name.
Yeah.
This is something I forgot to mention last time. So yeah, let me just like set the stage wherever we are before I go into this. So y'all were in Fallholt, and John had just been hasted by Faye to chase the guy that Emmett pointed out in the crowd, and he chased him down, and Sean, the caped guard of Emmett, tackled this cloaked guy and was like arresting him, or like had held him down, and then Emmett had like come down because he was like levitating above everyone. He came down, landed next to...
And it's like the scimitar wielding black guy.
No.
You labeled him as having a scimitar?
No.
Black.
No, that's Sean. Sean is his guard.
okay.
Emmett is the wizard that is
Does
from
Sean have a
Hearthstone.
scimitar, though?
Sean has a scimitar, yes.
Okay, that's the important part.
Sean has a huge fucking scimitar.
I don't
That's
remember
key.
I don't remember any of this. Am I in the right call? I don't remember.
So Alex,
We've actually been running like multiple side campaigns without you, Alex.
something that so you, Alex, you said last time, I remember this. You said to the journalist that was trying to get a quote from you. You were like, who is? You're like, what is Fallholt? Or like you said, who is? Like you were like, hi, and she was like called you out on it. That's all you did, and then like, so you Darian and Krunan were all in the crowd. Malice wandered off to like reminisce, and then Agalor wandered off to stare at the ocean and look for drugs. So they're away. They're converging on the scene, I think, because they had heard stuff. Darian helped chase down the guy, and then Krunan, I think, was following Emmett, and I don't know what you were doing, Sirocco, so you'll have to tell me that. But anyways, back to, so that's the scene. Krunan, way back, whenever y'all had like killed all the people in the ruins, and Gilvarnek and all them, whenever you inspected Gilvarnek's body, you found he had a necklace on. And on like the end of the necklace, instead of like an amulet or like what you'd normally find on a necklace, was a black chess piece, like a small pawn. It was a black pawn, and it was ringed around his neck. And inscribed in the base of the pawn are the words "Tread in power" and "Always sign in blood."
Yep.
You in here?
Okay.
So that's the.
Can you say the?
Yeah, I'll type it out as well.
Okay.
So this is what. So that's inscribed in cursive on the base of this pawn that is on the necklace that you found around Gilvarnek's neck. Like as he was deceased, he had perished.
Pretty cool.
So those two items. Okay, so Darian, whenever you like run up and like this cloaked guys, and now we're back in the scene. Housekeeping's over. So Sean has him like on the ground. He's grappled. And you see this cloaked figure. Like you see his face. He's a pale, elfin-looking face. Looks like a male. And there's terror in his eyes as Emmett stares him down. And the guard Sean is standing by, and he's like urging you to back up. He's like, "Back up, sir." And like Emmett is standing over him. Sirocco, what are you doing? And Kernan, Kernan, you said you were following Emmett, so now are you coming up on the scene as well? And then Sirocco, what are you doing?
I honestly don't know.
I'm getting off.
Your character knows.
I honestly don't know. Like I'm still a little hazy on the details of where I last.
Okay, what do you want to know? Ask some questions.
I mean, I don't even see myself on the map right now. I don't even know where I am.
We're in like
we're right.
Alex, you were talking to the reporter, and you basically like.
Well, I remember she said something like, "Can you give me more
crowd.
details on something on Fallholt?" And I said, "What's Fallholt?" Because I actually didn't know. And she was like, and then she answered, "The city you're standing in," and I was like, "No, I don't know anything about that."
No. She said, "Where is Fallon?" She said, "Who is Fallon?" And you said. No. This is what happened. You said who's
this story altogether.
You said who's Fallon, and she was like the mayor of Fallholt. I just said that.
Oh, that's right.
And then you were like, she was like, you just walked in with him. Did you guys like escort him here? Are y'all heroes? What? Can you give me a quote? And you were like, I'm not with them. I just wandered in here. And then she was like, are you high? And that was like the end of it.
Okay.
Yeah,
So
all the work that Dylan put into a story, we don't remember any.
But then also,
everything.
Alex, Sirocco also said later on, like you had like conveyed to them once like the reporter had like moved away and was like going back towards the scene. You told Kernan and Darian that you were like covering for them to get her away. You're like just bullshitting, but you might have just bullshitted that in the moment and forgotten it also. I don't know what you're doing. Tell me what you're doing.
I thought I told her that I would give her answers if like the price was right.
You definitely didn't say that. You definitely didn't say that.
Well, no, maybe we never got around to it, but I thought I said that too. Alejandro.
I think you thought it.
I think I thought it.
Yeah,
Okay.
I think I remember you thinking it.
I don't remember you thinking that because you didn't say it, but.
I must not have, but I knew I was. Well,
So what are you doing now? So Darian ran off, and Kernan is broken off from the group, like the crowd of people that were around the mansion, and the mansion was like blown up in certain areas, and like Emmett was there to inspect it. He's an archmage of Magia, so like that's why he was here. And then Faye had told you that it was like beneath him for him to be there inspecting it, and that was odd. And then Emmett came over and was like interrogating Fallon about why he was taken.
I mean, I want to get in the. I want to listen in on Emmett a little more and see if what I pick up from him. Try and get a gauge on what his deal is.
Okay, so Emmett is over near Darian, and they just accosted this cloaked figure that was on the run. Emmett had like indicated that he knew something. Okay. So as you slip away from the rest of the crowd to kind of follow along with Darian and Kernan, you see Faye, who is disguised as Victoria, to like she wanted to do that to try to like draw attention to her and find out more or whatever. So she's disguised as the goth girl, the goth queen.
Is she dead?
Victoria's dead. Yeah.
Wow.
So she's disguised, and she slips away from the rest of the crowd, like going the opposite way towards, like I guess on the map she would be going. So you're like,
well, if Faye's trying to slip away, I'm tailing her.
So no, I was about to finish what I was going to say, but she's like right over here. So you're heading like that X. You're heading down the lane of the road, and she's slipping away the opposite way, and she makes eye contact with you as she like begins to like fade away, and she makes a sign to you, like she like makes a finger gun motion. And you've seen that before, and you hear a whisper in your ear, and she says, "He's in my head. It's no longer safe for me to be here." And she indicates he's
finger gun motion. What?
Is it like she points it at me and then pulls the trigger, or she points it at her own head saying like, "This is lame"? Like,
no. So like before, when she had done this, she did this to each of you before, like whenever she was going with Raphael to confront Emmett. So she had pointed it, and then you see like her mouth kind of like sub-vocalize something. You can't hear anything from her mouth, but then like 1 second later, you like hear as if like on a breeze, like her like voice and whisper into your ear. So that's what this is. So she points her finger at you and she says, "He's in my head," and like by he, she means Emmett. You would assume, because
is it like a business whisper in our ear, or like a sexy like trying to turn us on whisper in our ear? Like this is important.
Every whisper comes across like that, John.
I'm gonna roll for that. I'm gonna roll for that.
Immersion broken.
It's pure business.
Oh, okay. Noted.
So that's what you hear, and then Krunan, as you approach, underneath the levitating Emmett, as he's like coming down from the sky above you, you get an impulse from your wand. So your wand is the wand of secrets that Bo told you about. So it has the properties of pointing out like secret things, and it's kind of vague as far as like the details on that. But you get an impulse from your wand right now as Emmett comes down, and it directs you towards the cloaked figure, and you are imparted a thought. And it's like, again, it's pointing towards the guy, and then this thought comes into your head, and it's kind of like ambiguous what this thought means. But this, in your head, you know that this person, this cloaked figure, knew Xavier. And Xavier, if y'all, pop quiz, who's Xavier?
The guy in the wheelchair, right?
That was the guy in that like dark room. We just found his journal, right? He was dead.
Yes, correct. John wins.
John fucking
Here's
pet.
Let it be.
Okay,
All right,
so
I'm gonna be serious. The only reason I knew that is because I looked in the handouts and I saw the contents of Xavier's journal, and then I remembered.
okay,
I wanna-
that's why the handouts are there. So that's
Typical
fine.
John. Good job.
using context clues.
Typical. No, you read the
That's not even context clues. That's just direct
straight
evidence.
Reddit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
John was on Reddit. He's on the subreddit for this campaign.
Just hear you crafting on the subreddit.
Okay, so you are part of the thought.
John's got all the fan theories.
They're all his own.
So you know that this man knew Xavier.
Okay.
Xavier is the necromancer you saw at the temple who had committed suicide. And
Who's
and-
around me right now? Because I'd definitely try to furtively share that information with my friends.
Darian is like standing right next to Emmett and Sean over the figure because he got there right as they like finished, and then I guess you would be the only person walking up. Soraka is like behind you,
Okay. Well, I'm not gonna tell Darren yet. He's too close to.
and you notice right as you like, you know how like when you have thoughts, you kind of like sometimes you mouth them in your mind. Right as you have this thought and you kind of like mouth it in your mind, you see Emmett violently turn towards your direction and stare at you.
I don't like that shit.
And you hear in your mind a stern voice, and it's very clearly coming from Emmett. He says, "Who are you?" So now, shifting back to Agalor. This is super important, so I'm saying it to everyone. And only Agalor knows it, but I'm going to say it anyways. So as Agalor heads back into town, towards the noises of the commotion you just heard, you take note of two things, and these require fucking rolls, and he's just gonna succeed them because he's an elf. So as you turn, so he was on the beach. As he turns from the beachfront to leave, on the rocks down the coast, further down, like outside of town, like kind of in the distance, elevated far above the waves, you see a figure striding along the rocks, leaping from one precarious stone to another with ease. And upon closer inspection, you see this figure has long, white, flowing hair over his shoulders, and he's carrying a large sack, almost the size of a person. And then this next part, I'm not going to say. Damn it all, I'm not saying that.
So we're done here.
Oh,
That's all.
shit!
Campaign's over.
We're getting 40% of the story just because Alejandro's not here.
Okay, no, I can fix this. I can fix one part of this. Okay, so now, Darian, you see, like I said, this elfin, like, pale face, like the cloak has kind of come down off of his face. Emmett is standing over him, like, really imposingly. And you begin to see his eyes kind of, like, bulge out of his head, and he's, like the veins near his eyes and on his neck start to, like, pulse out of his, and, like he's not, like, moving at all, but, like, you can see these features in his
Emmett
face.
or the cloaked guy?
The cloaked guy. Emmett's like Emmett is to his back is to you.
Mm-hmm.
And Krunan, you can see this a little bit also, but you kind of like stream of consciousness gather all the, and again your wand is still pulsing. What the fuck was that?
I got to sing stream of consciousness. You bring that up.
See, Al Hunter's not here to get that joke. So you.
It wasn't a joke.
I know. So you, stream of consciousness, kind of gather this in your head, Kernan, while this, like, it's literally like a split second. But you gather that this cloak, and you kind of just know this, like almost as if like you had always known it, or you don't know where you got the information. And you suddenly know that this person, this cloaked figure, was Xavier's handler in the syndicate. Because you know that from Xavier's journal, he was involved in the syndicate somehow. They had hired him to run experiments. He'd find out a bunch of shit. He went insane. He committed suicide. But this person knew Xavier, and now you know he was his handler in the syndicate. He gave him resources he needed to conduct his experiments out in the Outlands in return for intel on where he had come from, as well as the results of those experiments in like raising the dead, because he was a necromancer, and using undead animals for tasks, performing complex rituals, using undead hosts as the surveyors. So it was kind of like the things that Xavier was doing. And upon further, like, I guess this like royal of information coming in, you learn that Xavier was from a place called Death's Gate. And in addition to all this, you learn that there was some kind of cursory relationship or connection between this person, Xavier, and Fallon. And through a chain of rumors, like this is like what this person knew, and it's incomplete. But through a chain of rumors, Fallon found out about what Xavier was doing out in those temples in the Outlands. It's this seemingly abandoned place. He was producing monsters, is what Fallon and this person understand. And Fallon would go out there to do something. And there's not more than that, but you gather all that like literally in a split second. And right as you like gather that, you see Emmett turn away from, and he starts like pacing the other way a little bit, turn away from the man. And the man kind of like, he was like, Darian, you can see he was like straining, and then he just like falls, and he's kind of like limp, but he's still conscious. And
how confident am I in this information that I have?
You're like, I mean, it's on one hand, you're like very confident because it seems like it's just, you just know it. But on the other hand, you've never had that experience before. So it's hard to judge. You can roll an intelligence check to kind of like process that, the fact that you just gathered this information in this strange fashion.
Okay. Oh.
So you don't really understand how that worked, but I mean, you just kind of understand that it was connected to the wand.
Okay.
But,
so I was just wondering, because it was when Emmett was like staring at me, which was.
Well, Emmett stared at you and said, who are you? But then he kind of went back to business.
Okay.
Working on the guy. And then Darian, you can see this guy who's like clearly still in pain, but like not straining as much. He kind of spits to Emmett. He says, "Your reign is ended, wizard. Your tower will fall alongside the others. There are yet forces even you cannot comprehend. But you will." And then Kernan and Darian, as y'all stand before the scene, this is what you see. So the cloaked man's face, Darian, you can see this much more clearly, begins to turn red, and his grimace turns into like a silent like scream, like his mouth starts to open but no sound comes out, and then you see blood begin to streak from his eyes and pour from his mouth, and his entire body starts shaking. You can feel
Can we not interact at all during
you can
this?
feel energy emanating from it. You can interact. And he slaps his hands together, and his silent scream becomes a very loud one. And you can react right now if you want it.
So this is the
cloaked person on the ground. Emmett has drawn his blade, and he's like, I mean, not Emmett. Sean has. He's backed up. He's drawn his fucking huge scimitar.
Okay, good.
And Emmett is just now turning around. He's like kind of been pacing a bit away, and he's turning around because he hears the scream.
Actually,
All right, time's up. So
I'm gonna throw my sword.
okay.
Do that.
So now, as this scream is happening, you can hear it, Darian, but Kernan, you can see what I'm about to describe. So out of his mouth, like this, like shadowy smoke begins to come out, and then you see wings like emanate from the shadowy smoke, and it's like it's seemingly arising out of his mouth. And you see, like, out of the smoke, it begins to like emanate. You see the aspect of a large, muscled figure appearing within the form of the cloaked man, who's now lying completely on his back. His arms are out, and this like entity has red glowing eyes. That's like its only defined feature. Its like essence is kind of like shadowy and shifting, and it begins to laugh itself. In addition to the scream of the man, with a tenor not unlike something you would hear in like your darkest nightmares, of which you've known many. And you see Emmett, and like Darian again. You cannot see any of this.
Really?
Only.
I see him bleeding and opening his mouth.
Yeah, and he's on the ground and screaming. And Krunan, you can see this, and you see. Okay, so you can notice. Roll me a just a perception check.
Okay.
Can I use divine sense? I don't know what type of thing this is.
Sure. Yeah. What is divine sense?
I can see celestial or note the location of any celestial fiend or undead within 60 feet of you that is not behind tall cover. I know the type of any being whose presence you sense, but not its identity. With the same
Divine or celestial or fiend.
celestial fiend or undead.
Or
Would you have
undead.
any reason to like use that right now though?
How long does it take to cast that? Is it instant?
You don't know that I'm seeing.
Yeah, but he sees him like screaming and blood dripping out of his face. So like if he wanted to cast this and it is instant, I would allow it.
Plus he's you're a paladin.
Yeah,
Don't you have like a curse thing?
I don't know.
Whatever.
So I mean the first sentence is the presence of strong evil.
Wait, didn't we learn in the last session that John worships Asmodeus isn't actually he's actually an anti-paladin and he hasn't told anyone yet, but he accidentally said it.
Yeah, you speak
There's
like
some confusion
demon,
there
don't
for
you?
me.
He speaks infernal.
Yeah, he's a paladin.
So-
He would recognize evil.
Yeah,
It
and
makes
that's
sense that he might like it might occur to him.
divine sense says the
No,
presence of strong evil registers on your senses like a noxious odor.
Right,
so
right.
I interpret what he's doing as like an evil thing.
No, this is completely rational for you to be casting this. I just want to know if you can cast it instantaneously.
Yeah, so it's a class feature, so there's not really like a cast time. It's just
Okay. So you start like you turn on this sense, and
flip the switch.
not only do you not detect any like fiend or anything like a demon in the area, you don't detect evil on this person screaming on the ground.
Interesting.
And Krunan, with that perception check, you can see. So like you are seeing this, and you're like you can react to it, like like you're seeing this. It looks real, and you see Darian kind of like step back and like kind of start like attuning his senses to something around him, and you see Emmett still just like staring down, perplexed at the person screaming on the ground. But I meant Sean, and then you see Emmett. So Sean's just like looking down with his sword, and he's still just like wondering why is this guy screaming? Why is he bleeding? He's just like killing himself. And then Emmett, you see turn around, and he lets out like a gasp, and he loses his composure completely and appears like very distressed. And he starts scrambling immediately to perform an incantation in the face of like this figure before him. Krunan, roll me a wisdom saving throw.
Okay.
Wait, what did Kyle learn from the
Ouch.
perception check? Oh dear.
He just noticed that Emmett and Darian aren't reacting as severely as Emmett is.
Oh, okay. Oh, it's Sean and Darian.
Yeah, fuck, I keep messing up the fucking names. Sean and Darian aren't reacting as badly as Emmett is. Yeah. So you're repelled. Like this entity is like kind of like anathema to it. You feel like it's like a demonic phantasm that you cannot deal with, and you are repelled by it. But oddly, there's no severe visceral like fear within you. Like it's almost like you know this isn't real, but like its figure is like still like ghastly, and like you're repelled by it. And not long after, like you see Emmett like freak the fuck out. You see him like move his hands in a certain direction, and he launches a like lightning out of his fingers, and it arcs towards the cloaked person on the ground, towards the entity, this shadowy entity, and it goes through it, and you see it strike Sean, and like he pulls up his sword at the last second, and it hits Sean and like his body, and he's like flying backwards further down the street, like kind of after the lightning like goes through the shadowy figure and hits the cloaked person. You see like the shadow just like almost instantaneously just dispersed, and it's just gone. And Emmett's like 20 feet down the road, just like kind of smoking. I mean, Sean is smoking 20 feet down the road, and Emmett is like still just like panting, and he's like looking to cast another spell almost. And then all y'all can react to this. And then I want to know what Sirocco and Malice are doing.
Wait, so Sean
I
was
was on my way.
I'm gonna go pee really quick. Sec.
Okay. Yeah, so Emmett just like freaked out, launched a lightning bolt through this entity, and it hit Sean. It looked like he like pulled up his sword and like he was able to block it maybe, but I mean that's also just like something wouldn't help that much. So he gets like knocked way back.
So I was on my way back.
Okay, so
I would think I'd be kind of closer to the square at this point.
yeah, so you were walking back from the mill, yeah, like where your house used to be, what's now like the mill, or was the mill back then and now it's just a new mill?
Yep.
So as you're walking back up from the beach towards the commotion, you hear footsteps around you. And it's not even like a perception, it's just passively, you can definitely hear this, but you don't see anything. And then soon, like, you feel a hand on your shoulder, and you hear a familiar whisper in your ear, and you hear, "This is Faye. I have an idea of why Emmett is here and what's going on. Gather your party and meet me in the mill in an hour." And you see no figure, but you hear this, and then you feel her hand leave your side, and the footsteps continue back behind the way you came.
All right.
And this is like midday. I don't know. Like it was midday when you got here, so it's probably like closer to like the evening now. I mean, I guess a couple hours have passed. So.
Okay. I'm gonna immediately kind of react like, okay, where is everybody? What's going on? I kind of say that out loud, even though I can't see her.
Yeah. So you hear the footsteps stop. She just kept moving, and she turns and she says, Emmett had chased someone down in the courtyard, and he was very active, and I couldn't stick around because he could sense me. Or I couldn't risk him sensing me. So there was some commotion. I just heard, I mean, at this point, let's say you hear the crack of the lightning bolt, and she says something's going down. You should go inspect it. But
okay, at the crack of the lightning bolt, I draw my weapons and I run.
Okay. And then Sirocco.
Hey, I've got to hop out real quick.
Okay.
I'll be right back in.
Okay. Yeah, this is kind of like the end of this part. And then Sirocco, as you were like walking up, you broke away from the crowd. You let's say roll a sleight of hand.
Okay.
As in like it's like a reverse sleight of hand, but I'm gonna make you roll that check.
What am I doing?
So this is to sense something that happened to you.
Okay.
Okay, so you don't feel anything, but let's say
20. I don't know why the 7 rolled. I'm plus 5.
You're plus 5. Okay.
Yep.
So as you're like breaking away from the crowd, you kind of like feel, and you can react to this however you want, but you feel like someone like reverse pickpocket you, like they put something in your pocket.
Put a grenade in your pocket.
And it's like if you looked over, it's like you see like a lithe girly hand do it, and it's kind of in the crowd.
My first reaction is I check for my phone, my iPhone, and my wallet.
So a woman placed something in your pocket, in the middle of the crowd, and like people are kind of scattering at this point.
Right.
Uh,
I mean, I immediately like put my hands to my pocket and then like turn around, and I guess, I mean, do I notice who did it?
So roll me a perception with advantage, so you can just roll it twice.
Yeah.
Okay, so you see like the crowd kind of disperse, and it just like leaves her out in the open. Like she was trying to like meld in with the crowd, and it just didn't work. You see Ramona, like the journalist lady, and she like turns and looks back awkwardly at you, and she says, "I gave you my card," and then she just like runs away because she's scared of the sound that just happened.
Okay. I say that. Okay. After her, I was like, "That's fine."
You're like, "Okay."
I try to be discreet, I guess, and she was trying to be discreet also, but I'll nod.
She like you weren't sure,
I'll
but
wink at her.
she might have winked at you, but you aren't sure if she had like a twitch or something in her eye.
Yeah. Well, I do the same where I wink and then I also rub my eye at the same time just to give her the same confusion.
she sees that and she like looks back for a second and like you think you
Then
see her
she
smirk.
winks again.
You think you see her smirk, but you're not sure if it's just a twitch.
Okay.
I get
Okay. Well, then I slightly smirk. And then also,
At this point, she's walking away.
My hand to the sun, like it was a grimace all along.
Okay. At this point, she's walking away.
And then I turn my back, and then I look back one more time and see if we make eye contact again.
Okay.
She probably just doesn't look back.
She turns around and she makes eye contact with you again.
Okay. Then I turn around first, and then I don't look back.
Okay. Okay.
No matter what, I don't look back.
But you think about it. You think about it as you continue to step.
And then a couple more steps, she looks, and then I don't look, and then right after she turns
You
back around,
have GM powers. You've got GM powers in this scene. I mean, that's the thing. You don't know if she looked back. In your mind, you think that it's possible she definitely looked back,
Yeah.
but you don't know unless you look back.
snuck a card into my pocket. Like I know I have.
He knows.
I know.
Okay. Darian, at this point, you see like the cloaked figure is like bleeding out of his head, and he's just like completely limp now. He doesn't look conscious anymore. And then Emmett, he kind of is down on one knee, like panting. Like Krunan, you can see this as well. And you see in the distance, Sean is using his scimitar to like get up slowly, and there's like smoke coming off of him, and his like cape and his cloak is all disheveled. And he starts to walk up to Emmett, and he says, he's like, "What the fuck?" And Emmett, you hear once again, Krunan, you hear this, and you know it,
Okay.
but it's not happening out loud verbally. You hear Emmett say. It's like he knew what I thought I knew, but not what we need to find. And he's kind of like struggling over his words, like he can barely even talk. And then Sean says, "We should get out of the area. We finished searching the house. I was just told, but they left no trace." And Emmett says they were here, whoever the fuck they are. And then they just like start walking up to walk away, and y'all can react.
Wait, so what? So what happened to the guy on the ground? So his eyes bled and he screamed, and then something climbed out of it. Like I couldn't see it.
You didn't see that. All you saw, so from your point of view, all you saw was him like scream. He said those words too. He said to Emmett, like your tower is gonna fall, and there's things you can't even understand in this world, but you will. And then he started screaming and going insane and bleeding. And then Emmett freaked out. Lightning bolted him and Sean in the crossfire, kind of like in a straight line. And then this guy just like, I mean, it looks like the lightning bolt knocked him out or worse.
And now Emmett and Sean are just leaving?
Yeah.
Huh. Can I inspect the guy's body?
Yeah. You can, you can do an investigation, medicine, depending on what you're looking for.
I'm just gonna investigate. I don't know if I'm gonna try to necessarily bring him back or anything. I'm looking at someone that's alive or something. I'm not looking at the right one.
You're inspecting Krunan.
I want to investigate too.
I'm just like poking Krunan. He's like, dude, stop.
Okay, so more so Krunan, you can see that like he is like in fucked up shape. Like as a cleric, you know that he's definitely unconscious, probably internally bleeding, probably already dead.
Lose Will?
Yeah. So Krunan, you can tell that he's like fucked up, and yeah, I mean he just has a cloak on. He's like very like the cloak is kind of nice, but like he has like sandals that are disheveled. His fingernails are all fucked up. He has like bad hair. Like he looks like he's like in disheveled shape.
But he's not dead though.
He might be. You can't really tell based on that investigation.
Well, I don't know if I want to reveal everything, but I'd tell Darian that I think this guy's important and we should bring him with him, whether or not he's dead, or bring him with us in case he's not dead.
We should pick up the guy. I mean,
Yeah.
are Emmett and Sean out of sight? Where are they? Like walking back to do something else?
Yeah. So they're walking back, and at this point, you would see like kind of the other like people that were with Emmett, kind of like approach him and huddle up with him, and then he kind of like points back this direction, and like some of the people, other cloaked people that he was with, start heading y'all's direction.
I think we should grab him and go.
Sure. Being the big paladin, I'll trust my comrade and I'll pick him up.
Do the heavy lifting for me.
Okay,
Yeah.
how are y'all gonna do this? Because you're in direct line of sight of these cloaked figures that are now like walking towards your direction, like probably
shit,
like
I didn't
20
about
feet
them.
away.
So Emmett is leaving with Sean. Did they see the cloaked figures or no? Did they leave before the cloaked figures showed
The
up?
cloaked figures there are the ones they're talking to. It's the people that Emmett was with earlier inspecting the mansion. He like clearly knows them.
Oh,
And
they're coming for the body.
he pointed back y'all's direction and he's like sending them over there.
Oh.
Well,
Okay, I'll ask Krunan because I don't think he told me everything.
Yeah.
But I'll just ask: is this someone that we need to like protect from them? Do you think?
I think so.
Okay. Am I still hasted, by the way?
Haste lasts.
I mean, it's been 2 weeks, but
Haste
maybe longer. Hit the whole pause button.
lasts 1 minute, so you're not hasted anymore.
We could just like.
How far? Okay.
We don't necessarily have to take him and go. We could just like post up around his body and try to stop the
Okay.
cloaked figures from grabbing him
How
until
far
our party
away from
comes.
us?
I'd say so. Like all this happened like right here. I guess this X is in this wrong spot. So like it's like around the corner of this building. And let's say, I mean, they're within like 30 feet at this point. While y'all are deciding what to do, they're just like walking up briskly.
Krunan, do you have any items that you got that would be useful? I mean, I was just thinking like maybe
Alright,
we
I'm
could
back.
do something.
I just have my wand of secrets.
Okay. I have an immovable rod and a rope, but that's all.
What the fuck is
that's all I
going
got.
on?
We can use that. Let's
Well, so basically, Emmett and Sean just like kind of pissily walked off, and they called some of the other mages that Emmett came in with over to like where the body is, and now Krunan and Darian are trying to figure out what to do. And Sirocco, I would say you're trailing the wizards. You're like a little bit behind them.
I'm not really a shat caller, but I would impress on you that I personally think this guy is important
Okay.
and have some information we want, and that I don't really trust Emmett.
So again,
Have I arrived yet?
And
I'd say you're like
yeah.
20 feet behind Sirocco. So there's like a
Sirocco's
chain
like
of-
right there. Like I don't know. We could get the gang together.
so can you?
Let's
I
group up.
don't know how long we have before Dylan's gonna hammer us to not stop talking about it, but like,
you better be quick.
can you distract them?
Let's just group
Can
up.
you distract the cloak guys?
Yeah, I
I'll
mean,
take it.
I'm willing to like fight to protect this. Or like,
No, don't fight. Just try to like. Do you have any like solar spells or something? Something that'll just blind them for like a couple seconds. I'll just run away with them.
Listen,
All right,
listen.
this conversation's happening in game, and I'm assuming I've arrived.
You
Alright,
and Sirocco are like right next to each other, and y'all would be arriving concurrently with the wizards, with the cloaked
shit.
Who
people.
are the wizards?
Are they on us now? Are we talking and they're just like standing right next to us? What's happening?
Who are the wizards?
They're within 20 feet. Those are the cloaked figures that Emmett you knew he was investigating the mansion with, and he was talking. He went over and like him and Sean was recovering from like he's like still smoking, and him like they communicated something that only Krunan was able to hear, and then they walked away from the body. So then Darian and Krunan started investigating it, and then the cloaked figures came and like reconvened with Emmett, and then Emmett was like pointed them back towards y'all.
Okay.
Towards the body.
Do we have eyesight of Sirocco and Malos?
Yeah, y'all can see them approaching the same like
Okay. And
alleyway.
they probably don't have any idea of what just happened, right?
No,
They-
I'm like, I've got my fucking sword and my axe drawn.
Don't we have
They-
like the stones of spar speech? I don't know if that's those like in our past.
Raphael has that.
I have one. Raphael has the other.
Okay, so did Will hear all the stuff?
No,
I don't know.
No, Raphael wasn't in the area.
Oh, we only have two. We don't have multiple.
No, I just
No.
yeah, I just
Oh,
heard
shit.
a lightning bolt go off, and so I was rushing towards you
Okay.
guys after Faye had told me I was like to like shit was going down.
All right. how far away are Will and Soraka or Malice and
I'm
Soraka?
fucking here, John.
The Wizards.
I'm fucking here.
The Wizards are there.
No, we have to recalculate. I didn't know they were.
What are y'all doing? That's the wizard
I'm
talking.
fucking here.
What are y'all doing? Who are y'all?
The Wizards.
Who-
I'm just in front of the body. I'm in front of the body.
What the fuck are y'all doing around this body? Clear out. Everyone clear out. What the fuck?
I'm not moving.
I'm gonna stand firm.
The other wizard's like, you
Dylan,
better listen to him.
Dylan, world question for you: Are these guys like? Would I consider these guys like law? Are they like the cops?
No. I mean, these, based on context clues, they are hanging out with Emmett, an archmage of Magia. These are Magia guild mages.
Okay. All right. I say, who the fuck are you? Fuck off. Don't talk to my friends like that. And I look at them and I just start ignoring them. I'm like, hey. I look at Croonin and Darian. I'm like, what's going on here?
Yeah, I still have my sword drawn at this point. I think.
This is Magia business. Y'all need to put your weapons away and clear out right now. Everybody get out. This is about to...
Who's authority?
Magia. This is about to become a Magia scene, and we need to inspect it, and everyone needs to get out. That's the Archmage that just directed me over here. Everyone needs to clear out right now.
Well, he can come over here and tell me himself. I don't give a fuck what you have to say, big boy.
I cover my
He,
mouth.
he
look
draws his
surprised.
fucking wand! He draws the shit out of his wand, and so does the other one.
I've already got my shit drawn. I'm like, let's fucking go.
All right, I'm gonna try to intimidate them.
Okay.
I'm also intimidating them. Wait, John, let me intimidate them.
Okay. We'll
Y'all have this conversation? Let me intimidate them. No, let me do it.
Wait. No, okay. We can.
Wait. I feel like I'm being intimidating right now.
I can.
Okay, yeah. Roll an intimidation check.
I have +5 to intimidation.
Yeah, so do I.
Didn't roll well.
What? Oh, god damn it.
You messed it up. Just use the character sheet, bro.
Space.
My
Yeah.
character sheet's fuck. I don't have it. 22.
Jeez.
That's intimidating.
I'm intimidated.
Okay, so
I'm like a giant guy with a sword and axe in my hands.
yeah. So Darian, you see the guy in front of you. I guess were y'all trying to intimidate the same guy of the two, or just one and one?
Just whichever one was turning and talking to me was the one I'm intimidating.
Okay. Darian, were you like talking to the same one, or?
Which one did Malice was talking to?
Well, I'm just
Wait,
like
the one
all that matters
that
is like the
speaking.
one, the one that it's either the same one or it's
Yeah.
not the same one.
Yeah, the one that was speaking. Sure.
Okay.
Same one.
Okay, so you see him like take a step back, and the other one is like pointing his wand towards the body.
So
So the guy that y'all just like intimidated successfully, you can see like the fear in his eyes. He backed up a second, and you can see his like mouth getting dry. But the
Also,
other,
just retcon, when I was intimidating him, my sword was in dagger form, and as I was like saying what I was saying, and after I said it, it extended to a long
he
sword.
extended to a long sword, and it set on fire.
Okay, wait. How
Yeah.
how close are we to?
I'm fucking barracked on Darren.
So
Yeah.
wait, are we all within like 5 or 10 feet of each other?
Yeah. So this map is smaller than y'all's character models are bigger, but
Okay.
yeah.
I mean, I'm not gonna. I'm just gonna kind of try to stand between them and the body. I mean, I have my sword and shield drawn, but
All right, I kind of cool the situation. I'm like, look, I'm just here. I heard a ruckus. My friends are someone was clearly attacked right near my friends. I just want to know what the hell's going on here.
It's none of your concern. Look, it's guild business
Look,
now.
buddy, I've been through fucking hell the last couple days. I don't really care. Just fucking give me a straight answer.
At this point, you see the other one. So, like, the main one that y'all have been intimidating is just kind of like this. It's like a human that kind of has, like, he's, like, well-groomed, like, bearded wizard that's, like, in his, like, mid-30s. And he's, like, clearly, like, the leader of the two. And then the other one has, like, dark hair. And he's, like, kind of, he looks like he's an elf of some kind. Not a drow. And he hasn't said anything. He's pointing his wand at the body. And as you say, I've been through hell the last couple of days. He looks at you with this wand still pointed at the body, and he says, "You have no idea what hell is." And then the other one,
that's creepy as fuck.
the main one's just like, "This is guild business now. I don't know why y'all are here. I don't frankly care, but I just need y'all to leave the area. Y'all can leave in peace. I'm not gonna try to hurt you, but."
I'm ignoring him. I ignore him and I just look at Corinne. I'm like, hey, what the fuck is going on here? I kind of shoulder past him.
He's like, hey,
Yeah.
hey, and he and he kind of like grabs at your like armor.
He grabs at me.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, because you shouldered past him, so he's like grabbing your armor, trying to turn you back around to face him.
All right, I shove him away.
Okay, do me a strength check.
So Dylan, I forgot about something that might be important that we might need to retcon, but I'm just gonna wait because I feel like it's gonna change a lot of shit that just happened.
What the fuck does that mean?
What?
What the fuck are you saying?
How close was I to the body whenever Emmett cast the spell on him?
Like within 5 feet.
Okay, so my shield,
Right.
it automatically makes
All right,
me
all right.
become the target.
This is
I don't
easy
know.
to retcon. Here's what happened.
Okay.
You were like weren't in the path of the lightning, but it like some of it redirected and like struck you like in the back. I guess was your shield like out? I guess at that point because you drawn your
Yeah,
sword.
because I drew my sword. Yeah, so my shield is out as well.
So you like you're like the lightning goes into your shield and like you were kind of like near this like building, which is over by like where the houses are in the mercenary halls, and it struck you and like knocked you back into it, like shattered like the glass of like a window nearby, and you just like fell through the glass into a table like, and I can roll some DPS on that. Okay, so you take 13 damage.
Oof.
It's kind of like in Avengers whenever Captain America like jumps out the window whenever that grenade explodes. That's what happened. You like were able to block most of it with your shield.
Okay.
But you
Are
know,
there,
like
visible
that felt some
markings on
pain.
him?
On Darian?
Yeah.
Yeah, there'd be some like glass shards and like I mean there'd be some like electrical blackened shit on his shield if he still had it drawn.
All right, so that's like even more. That even more enforces the point that like I really don't give a fuck what these guys are saying. I just want to like make sure like my friends are cool and that what the fuck is going on.
I'm gonna like yell that, or not yell, but I'm gonna tell Mallows and Darian that the cloaked man worked with Xavier.
Oh,
Okay, all right, this is definitely our fucking business now.
At this point, the other wizard that had said you have no idea what hell is and has like dark hair and hadn't said anything else, you see his wand flick and the body like levitates like 20 feet into the air, right in the midst of y'all. And y'all can take a reaction if you wanted.
Can I cast Hold Person on this creepy wizard?
If that's an instantaneous cast spell, then yes.
I got you, Kyle.
How do I tell if it's instantaneous?
I'll look it up
So
real
you
quick.
can
What's it
so in the roll 20, you can search with the little eye compendium. And you can search any spell and see its like parameters. So I can do it as well.
I'm pulling it up in D&D Beyond right now.
Hold
Wait,
Person.
how much time do we have to react to? Do we have any time to react to the wand being flicked?
The
It's
wand
an
being
element
flicked
to
and the
spell.
levitation are happening simultaneously, and you can react to that.
It's an action casting time.
It's just an action.
Yeah, I'm reading it now. So yeah, you can cast it
I'm casting it
on the person casting the spell.
on the
Wait, what are you casting?
Hold Person. It
Hold
like
Person.
paralyzes him.
Oh shit, yeah, I have stuff like that too.
Yeah, I'm gonna try to Hold Person on the guy who's like the creepy one who's doing things that we didn't intimidate.
Okay. So what's your DC? Your spell save DC? That's like what the person has to roll with their wisdom saving throw to like beat this spell. So it's unique to you because you're the one casting the spell.
Yeah, hey Kyle, if you look on your D&D Beyond character sheet and go to your spells, it'll say like Wiz 13 next to the spell or something like that, and that's what the DC is.
Right.
Okay, one sec.
So it should say I
Wiz
think this is
12.
wisdom.
Wisdom 12.
12. Okay. Let me see what this guy's stats are. Wisdom saving throw.
What are you casting?
Oh
again,
shit.
Kyle?
Hold Person.
You see him like kind of like effortlessly continue casting his spell, and his eyes dart to you because he knows
Oh,
what you
fuck.
just did.
Damn it.
All right, as he's levitating the body, I'm gonna pull out the rope of climbing and like make a lasso and try to like rope it around the body.
All right, there's gonna be some reactions to
Come on,
this.
John.
There's gonna be some reactions to this. Like Woody's theme song starts playing. Da 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 da.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'll say So at this point, Soraka, you can do something as well if because you're there with Malice. If that wasn't clear. If Alex is still here. Sorry, Alex.
Yeah. Also, I could just. I don't have to tie a knot. I could just tell the rope to knot itself, and it will knot. So I can pull it out, knot it, and then throw it. You said
Whenever you I'll hold off on that.
Okay. I like reach into my bag and they're gonna respond to it, or
No. You have the rope in your hand and you're thinking that you're about to like start swinging it like a lasso, and the Woody song is about to start playing. So now this guy is gonna react.
which guy?
The guy that was intimidated, that is like a couple steps back, that wasn't casting the spell. You see him.
Sirocco's just chilling.
Yeah, well, Soraka, you can go after this guy, and then Malice, you can go after that.
Okay.
Yeah.
You see him kind of like his his like lip is trembling, and you see him with his wand kind of like envelop his person with like a flick, and you see kind of that's it. And then Soraka, you can go.
Wait, say again? He does what?
He kind of like envelops his person. He like takes his wand and like points it at himself.
Doing
and, like,
doing
spins it
some
around.
abjuration shit. He probably put mage armor on or something.
Oh.
Do you say that, Malice?
Fucker.
I hope you do.
Yeah, I fucking said that.
Okay, awesome. Whenever you say that, he like turns and like his eyes dart at you and like they're like bulging.
Okay, so I guess what I actually do for the rope, I forget that it's like an actual like being. I could just tell it to, so I can tell it to tie the knot, and then also tell it to go around its body. Like I can tell it to move towards a target, and it moves 10 feet on my turn and 10 feet on each of my remaining turns. So I can like,
You have a pet.
yeah.
Okay, so before you do that, Sirocco can go take an action.
I'm gonna throw down my staff of Python, and
We're just fucking busting it. It's an item party right now. I love it.
we're going. I just want to fucking kill somebody.
Whipping out that big.
I've
big
actually.
python.
I think I might have the best answer here, but let's keep going.
Can I whip out my python at the same time?
Oh, yeah.
I forgot. It's cannon app.
Or well,
Sorry.
dwarf colleague.
Sorry, Alex. Continue.
No, I know. You're. I mean, it's fine. You're gonna show me up. You're gonna show up my giant boa constrictor. Or he's a giant constrictor snake. You can show me up. It's fine. It's only gonna intimidate them even more. All right. You got a little another little thing to throw on this map. That'll be my boa constrictor.
Yeah.
I kind of want to. I think I can. Man, I don't think I can like throw it. I want to trap them, basically. Like I want to get the snake on the other side of them.
Right.
So are they over here or just here?
Nah, I'm putting them on the map now.
Okay.
So y'all are all like within like a 20-foot radius of one another. You're not right next to each other like this, but y'all are close.
And where are they again? They're
These guys?
So Alex threw that.
Oh wait, so they're already like backed into a corner?
No, I wouldn't say that. That's just how it
That's
looks.
what it looks like. That's using a physical map.
Y'all are all standing like where Malice and Sirocco are essentially. Y'all are all like in the street right here.
No, that looks like a corner to me.
I wish I could zoom
I
the
don't
map
even know
in.
which one I am.
Does it not say?
I was this purple guy, wasn't I, for a while? Now,
Your
what?
character. Everybody can see each other's
No,
names, right?
Vegeta? Not now. I can see the name.
I can't
Yeah.
see Will's name.
Yeah, now you're Vegeta, Alex.
Okay.
I can't see Will's name.
I
Okay.
can't see any name. Oh
Okay.
wait.
I can't
No.
see. I can't see. I can't see
Okay.
Darian's name.
Well,
Okay, it doesn't save like the fact that I've
Kinda
assigned
looks like
characters. to
They're pinned. I want to block off this exit. Like, can I first?
Yeah, is this the building right here, Dylan, where I'm like walking around?
Dylan just said they're not in a corner. We're like, all right, so they're cornered. We're gonna block them.
I mean, y'all can circle around.
Yeah. No. I mean, well, if we get first thing I want to do is see like I want to try and see if in a split second I can see like the ways out basically for them. I want to trap them.
Yeah. Okay. So you can try to get in the way of a potential escape route. I can. Yeah. That's what would
Right.
happen. Yeah. Okay.
So I mean, where can I see where those escape routes are? Like, can I see like, okay, they can go like
But they can only go like
or they can go here,
They can go this way or this
Or they
way.
can go here.
That's it. I mean,
Okay.
this is a building behind them with like there's
So
a
that's
front
behind
door
them.
right here.
A window
There's a
there that they could get into. Or
there's a
something.
door and a window. There's 2 windows and a door like right
You're
there.
just
They're at
giving
the-
them every way out.
No, that's the entrance. That's the entrance of this building. It says the name of it right there.
It's fine. Alex, it's fine. It's fine.
No, I know.
So there's just 2 of them? I thought there were more.
No, there's 2 of them right now. So
Okay.
Emmett and Sean turned the corner right after they talked to them, and
All right,
Okay.
so I'm gonna
about like 15 seconds have passed. So
I'm gonna say blackberries, which is that's the name of my snake, and so he drops down, and I'm gonna tell him to go just sit right here for a minute because I can control him telepathically within 60 feet, and then I'm gonna wait. I guess that's an action, isn't it? I think to throw
To
it
throw
down
it down is an action.
and then to bring it back up into staff is a bonus.
okay,
Can I name my
Uh,
rope if he names his snake?
It's not as interesting.
I'm kind of.
John, you can do whatever the fuck you want. That's yes.
All right, so that ends my turn then.
All right.
Or well, I
I'm
want to
gonna-
say to him.
I'm like kind of
just
rolling
do
my
you
eyes
wanna
at this whole
continue?
situation, and I'm
Alright.
just I'm sheathing my weapons and pulling out my pipes of haunting.
Okay, John. I guess like you would go after Malice, and then as you're going, John, I need everybody to roll initiative to make this clear to understand what order this is going to be in.
Okay.
And if you roll initiative and click the initiative thing, while controlling your character, it'll while clicked on your character, it automatically adds to the turn order.
Wait, what
So,
initiative thing? I don't see initiative.
on your character sheet, if you've added like shit to your character sheet,
Oh,
you can
yeah.
click initiative,
No,
and while your character's clicked,
Wait, where is it on the sheet?
I haven't added anything to my sheet. I'm using the other one.
You should. The sheet's great.
Yeah, I haven't been able to figure out how to work it
Reroll.
that well. I'll
I don't know where initiative is on. Oh, I see it. Okay.
it's near the top.
Yeah.
Got it.
Oh, let's go.
wait. Can I still go?
Yep, pipes of honey.
Let's hope to avoid a fight here. All right, so pipes of haunting, baby. Let's go. All
Soraka, did you roll a 1? Is that your initiative?
Yep.
Awesome.
right, well, pipes of haunting.
Also, this Oblivion music that's been in the background for the past however long we've been playing is awesome.
Yes, it's on repeat. This guy will be here.
All right.
This guy went first.
I am using one of the charges in my pipes of haunting. I start playing them, and an eerie, spellbinding tune comes out of them. Each creature within 30 feet of me must succeed on a DC 15 wisdom saving throw, or they're frightened of me for 1 minute. If I wish, my allies I can choose for it to not affect them. So I am just going to do it on these wizard bitches. So they need to make DC 15 wisdom saving throws.
Wisdom saving throws? Okay. Alright. What's this guy's wisdom? Okay. And this guy's... That's ironic. Okay, so you see the dark-haired guy. He gets shook, and he starts like backing towards the door of this house or this big building. And then the other guy kind of like smirks at your music, and he's unaffected, it seems. So frightened. I guess he would take an action on his turn to do something, but he's frightened of you specifically, right?
Yeah, he has to. Well, he has to use his. I think he has to dash as far away from me as possible, right?
On his turn, yeah.
Yeah.
Yep, that is
Wouldn't
correct.
would that break his concentration of his spell too? So wouldn't the body drop? Unless it doesn't require concentration.
I think concentration's broken only when damage dealt. I mean, not only on damage dealt, but it's usually on damage dealt. So let me look.
I feel like being terrified by some haunting pipes.
Yeah,
Like someone in your mind would break your concentration.
let me look that up. Actually, I'm going to take the time to look this up.
It should.
It should. I mean, it makes sense, but I don't actually know if that is true.
You're the DM. You make the rules, baby.
It's true,
It makes sense. It makes sense.
but
You're
concentration.
shitless to me.
But concentration as in like an ability is something that's like it's based on like your ability to like damage isn't just like someone drawing blood on you. It's like damage is like something forcing you to get out of the way sometimes. So it's like is frighten a big enough thing to do that? So this thing says basically there's some spells that say specifically they break concentration, such as Sleet Storm, Earthquake. unconscious, petrified, paralyzed, break concentration. Grapple breaks concentration, and then along with damage. So the conditions: incapacitated, unconscious, petrified, or paralyzed break it. Frightened isn't there. So he's frightened, and he's only focusing on that while he tries to retreat. And then
He's retreating while levitating the body still?
Yeah, I mean, he hasn't gone yet, but yeah.
Okay.
It'd be your turn, Darian. So as you pull out, you already said what you're going to do. As you pull out this rope, roll me a wisdom saving throw. As you grip it and try to compel it to do anything.
Dylan gave us a big old bag of cursed items.
Okay, so
Oh, let's try to have fun with the loot we got.
what you...
It's all fucking cursed.
Oh, man. I'm gonna hold back on that. I'm holding back. I'll just say that was a shitload of good loot. But you should have thought twice. But anyways, so you... This is what happens. So you were telling it to like go up there and wrap around the body and kind of like you're gonna like drag it down. Is what you're gonna try to do. This is kind of what you said. So you like as you're imparting this message to it, you like while you're holding it, like you can feel your hands like burning. It doesn't hurt, but like they're burning with like emotion and like anger. And you like compel it to do this, but the rope starts to like it ties a noose. And it goes around his neck and not his body, and it starts tightening, and you start pulling it really hard around the guy's neck as it's levitating. And you're like, that's exactly what you wanted to do.
Wait, what?
Yep.
Don't do that shit.
Wait, isn't it
Yeah,
20 feet? It can only go 10 feet a turn. I'm gonna reverse DM hammer you.
The rope is 10 feet?
The rope can move 10 feet a turn. So I can pull it out and say, go here, and it can only move 10 feet on my turn when I first command it, and 10
But
feet
wasn't
on
John like
each
right on
turn.
top of this guy?
All right, our boy Omat, who's the name that y'all don't know that I know of, the wizard casting this spell, in his frightened state, lowered the spell 10 feet.
God damn it.
So everything I just said happens.
So I got a noose around his neck, and then I chose to pull it. Like, do I have to pull it whenever there's a noose? Like,
You're pulling it because it's doing exactly what you wanted to.
That's what you
why?
want to do,
Well,
right?
I mean, I told like I can't command the rope to. I can't command myself to pull the rope. I just commanded it to go to the location.
What he's
Yeah, I
saying
know,
is
but like you wanted to
Hey,
pull it
Gary,
down.
Can you chili for a second? Oh, I thought we
I'm
needed
gonna
to talk to
choose
this
to
guy.
not pull the rope around his neck after I see that it's like a noose.
You can choose to try to do something differently next turn.
Wait, what the fuck? That's not how this works.
That is exactly how this works. That was your action.
Well, I can't choose to pull the rope before the rope like.
John, you're being compelled beyond forces you understand, son. Just deal with it. Okay.
Cursed items, John.
You want to
Welcome
pull
to
the
Cursed Item
noose.
Town. We're
You
in a
chose to
campaign
pull
of
the
only
noose.
cursed items. My
Okay.
haunted pipes are like going down my throat right now, murdering me.
Deep throating some haunted pipes right now.
We're all scaroused.
Wait, can I retcon that I'm playing? Can I retcon that I'm playing up the downstairs on my pipes of haunting?
You absolutely can, and in fact, I'm gonna look that up if that's in the jukebox right now.
That's ridiculous.
There's
That
a
would be
chance.
ridiculous.
There's a lot of stuff
We're gonna have to retcon.
That'd
a lot
be
of stuff that's gonna
that'd be outrageous if that was in the jukebox.
There's a
happen.
lot
I
of
have
stuff.
advantage on all haunting rolls from now on.
John, you're mad.
I might be mad, but I'm mad.
I'm gonna switch up the music. Up the downstairs does not exist. Damn it. That pisses me off.
You want me to just hot mic it? Just pull it up on Spotify and hot mic that shit?
Shit. Nah, that'll be
Can we
terrible.
pipe stuff into Hangouts?
Can you?
So,
You know what you can do that on? Discord.
ooh.
Discord sucks though. Okay. So this guy. Is there music playing?
Yeah.
Oh yeah. So this guy is gonna cast. You're gonna see all of y'all see a ghostly hand come forth from this guy's figure, and it reaches up, and he's like pointing up towards the rope that he now sees tied around the body. And you see this hand go and like grab the rope and start pulling the body towards him.
I'm kind of snickering to myself. Mage hand, what a shitty wizard.
So this guy, let me think about this.
Doesn't he have to run?
Yes, he does. Yeah. So the frightened, how long does that last?
It lasts for a minute.
Okay. And does he take wisdom saving throws every turn or not?
Yeah.
At the beginning or
No,
at the end of his turn?
wait. A creature that fails a saving can repeat at the end of each of its turn, ending that.
End of each turn. Okay. So he immediately starts backing up, and he like backs up against this door, and he like realizes he's against the door, and he like kicks backwards and kicks it in, and like he's like edging into the darkness of the door. But before he does, you see his hand blast out, and he like screams out and launches a dark lightning bolt at the body.
Again, is that gonna hit me then?
No, the body's up in the air, right?
Is it within 10 feet? Which it sounds like it was for the rope.
If it's within if that's what the shield says, then yeah, it's within 10 feet. So if the shield says any ranged thing gets redirected into you.
Yeah, ranged attacks, yeah.
Okay. Let me see.
Damn, that works on spells too.
It says any ranged weapon attack, so I don't
Oh, so it's a
necessarily
weapon
know.
attack. It's not a spell attack then, right?
I mean,
Yeah, that wouldn't be. It wouldn't be a
Yeah,
spell.
that would just be arrows. I think that shield is specifically for arrows.
We have to re-retcon. No, that lightning bolt thing still happens.
no, that's all right.
All right, that's fine.
Because you're kind of in the way. His range spell attack is +5. So he strikes the body with this lightning bolt, dark lightning bolt, and he kind of like blasts it further back. So the way levitate kind of works is like anything that like causes something to move, like the inertia just causes it to move further back. So like Darian, so it's going the opposite direction of what the way the mage hand was trying to pull it in. It just like grabbed onto it, and then it's moving you, Darian, like further back this way. Like it's turned you around kind of.
Mm.
And then Kunan, it would be your turn. And this guy's backed into the house now. He's like gone from view.
Okay, I'm gonna cast command on the blonde guy. So I speak a one-word command, and he has to succeed on a wisdom saving throw or follow the command. My command is flee, and so if successful, he spends his turn moving away from me by the fastest available means.
Okay.
And
Yep.
it's a wisdom 12.
Yeah. I'm reading it now. Sweet. Okay. Damn, this guy is rolling well. He does not appear affected by that command spell.
I'm striking out. All right.
He is
That's all.
rolling abnormally high. Even without his modifier, he'd be passing with flying colors. So Rocco, it's your turn.
All right. I don't have any like useful utility things yet. Sorry, I'm like trying to like familiarize myself with all my abilities again, but I don't think I have. I can basically only attack.
Okay.
I don't have a stun until next level, I think. I'd like to ready an attack, but
Okay.
I want to make sure that this is my snake still here?
Yeah, it's dished like right next to you.
Right. Okay. I want to command my snake to like basically get all the way up on him and like back him into this corner that is very clearly right here.
Okay. So you want to get
Or
it,
try and
get the snake
snake
within 5 feet of him.
Yeah.
Yep. Okay. So the snake's like on top of him, within
Yep.
5 feet.
Yep.
He sees it. He takes notice, and he's like, kind of like moving around.
Did you get a little intimidated by what is called a giant constrictor snake according to the rules? I don't know how big giant is, but
I don't think it's a giant.
constrictor snakes can get up. No, that's what it says. It says giant constrictor.
Well, it's in the D&D Beyond. At this point, as a reaction to like this snake coming up on him, he's like, "Get this beast away from me! We're just trying to get what is ours. This body, this situation is ours." And he's like flustered in saying this.
What's valuable about it?
The body?
I ask him.
Are you asking?
Yeah, yeah. I want to know what do you
This
want?
this body was recovered as part of an archmage investigation, and it is of the highest importance to us. And y'all are getting real close to being in big trouble with Magia.
Malice rolled his eyes.
Yeah, I want to see. Show me some credentials.
Where's your badge?
Yeah, show me your fucking little paper
Go
bag.
fucking get a warrant, bitch.
He almost with like pride, he like gets some confidence from this. He like shoves out his like hand with like that's holding the wand, and like the cloak kind of like drops down, and on his like wrist, below his palm, there's a tattoo that is has a marking on it, and he says,
Like-
I am one of Magia, and you have to respect my authority. And all of y'all can roll history to see if you recognize that spell. That marking as legitimate.
Whoop, whoop.
Boop.
What's going on over there?
Okay, so Darian and Krunan and Mouse, y'all all like that is like all Magia mages get a tattoo on their wrist, and it seems legitimate.
I cut his arm off at the wrist.
You're like 15 feet away from it, like 10 to 15
I'm just
feet.
kidding. I don't actually do that.
You're gonna throw your axe to try to cut it off. But he's like urging you, like after this, he's like, get this serpent away from me.
God, he's
And
so
Malice,
brutal.
it's your turn.
All right, I cast Charm Person on this dude.
Yep, that he's gonna roll it with advantage because y'all are assaulting him.
We haven't assaulted him yet, though.
Yeah, but this is a hostile situation.
Should
Obviously,
it be easier to charm?
no. I mean, the rules of Charm Person is it's really not effective in combat. It's more of like a outside of combat, like you're trying to soothe someone into like you're actually talking to them instead of like casting Charm Person on Gilvarnak. Like,
Okay.
wouldn't have done anything.
Right, that's not quite the same thing here. Because we haven't actually like attacked anybody yet.
Right. I mean, I'll read their letter of the law, but my understanding is Charm Person, if it's a hostile situation, they get advantage on the Wisdom roll.
You attempt to charm a humanoid you can see within range, must make a Wisdom saving throw, and does so with advantage if you or your companions are fighting it. So,
You're basically fighting him.
okay, all right.
Cut his hand off.
Cut his hand off.
I don't really have any urge to murder this guy, but I'm kind of annoyed by him.
God, that music is so loud.
Is it?
Turn it down.
Yeah.
See, it's not loud on mine, so I don't have a
I
way.
just changed, I pumped up the tunes for the Oblivion and Morrowind soundtracks, but I just lowered
Things are
it
getting
on my
intense
side.
now.
Yeah.
All right, is the body outside still?
Yes. The body's like
Is it still there?
the body's still there, but it's like smoking from the thing that hit it.
All right. As a free action, can I talk to this dude?
Yep.
All right, let's be like, look. Obviously, there's a misunderstanding here. We get it. You guys want to investigate the situation. We think this guy has something to do with the person we're investigating as well, and we think he's potentially
Under whose authority?
Under whose authority are you working under? You're Magia. You're not the fucking law of the land here. I'll go get Fallon myself. We just saved his ass.
He crosses his
And then-
his arms. He's like, "Oh, huh, not the law. We created the law." And like
Look,
that's
man,
kind of
look,
true, but it's not.
All I'm saying, whatever. All I'm saying is that let's just do this thing together, all right? You guys can do your thing. Let us stay here. We just want to know who this guy is. We're also investigating something that is potentially is related to the syndicate. Can you just?
We're
we
wasting
say-
time. He's gonna die right now. He's probably dying as we speak. We're trying to get him away from y'all.
We're not going to do anything to him.
I
You're the one
smother
taking
him
him
with
away in
my
some mysterious
robes.
circumstance.
You smother him with what? Your robes?
With my robes. I'm trying to put the
Robes.
fire out.
It's like my colleague is an idiot and just struck him with an attack spell. I don't know what those. He just fucking ran like an idiot.
So I'm having a hard time believing that you're trying to heal him. You'll
You-
forgive me if that
you
seems
clearly-
strange to me.
You clearly just did something to my friend to cause him to go insane. I know magic when I see it. I don't know what that music is, but it's fucking crazy.
Do you have any idea how crazy you sound right now?
I'm fucking terrified.
I
I'm fucking scared.
He's not fucking scared. All right.
Yeah, he's saying he's scared, but the other guy's actually scared.
All I'm saying is, okay, let's put him down. I don't know about you, but you two fuckers don't look like clerics to me. We have a cleric in our party. We'll heal him. You guys go about your business. We'll do the same thing. We can just investigate him together.
Roll me a persuasion.
I'd really rather not pull my axe out on you, okay?
Yep. Give me a
But I do
persuasion
need
with advantage.
Let's go.
Persuasion. +3, sweet. That's probably not going to do it.
No, I said it's right on the money.
It's with
Okay.
advantage, right?
With advantage,
You
yeah,
get
but it was a 10
Okay.
DC. Because at this point, he wants the same thing you want. He knows he's outnumbered. So he says, oh, okay. What's his name?
So the
Omat!
guy,
Omat, let him down. You know, Omat's inside the door, and he's like, no! But you can't see him.
Oh, we messed up.
He's like, God damn it, Omat! What are you doing? Why did you hit him? Because
the guy has a noose around his neck, on fire, and he's still floating.
he's not on fire, but he is still floating. He moved back like 10 feet.
This is a ridiculous situation,
Yeah.
and I feel mostly responsible for it.
So Darian, while this is happening and like they're hashing this out, Malice is saying all this. Darian, you can roll me another wisdom saving throw. Okay, so you're able to now. You have control of yourself and the rope again. It's still in a noose around his neck, but you're no longer pulling it with the weight of your arms. But he's moved like 5 feet down, angled closer towards you. So now it's only like 5 feet away from you in the air.
Can I see the guy in the building or no? So I'm turned around, right?
Yeah, you're like turned sideways.
Can I turn and see the guy in the building?
No, he's not. He's not visible through the doors. The door like kind of closed behind him, but it's
So
still like
he's
tracked.
Is he the one that's levitating the guy?
Yeah.
And he doesn't have sight of the person.
I mean, you don't know where he is in the building, but he
Okay.
might have sight. There's windows on both sides of the doors, and there's windows on the door as well. You can roll me a perception.
Yeah, let's do that. Oh. Well,
you get like a
I'm still looking at this building.
your
over here.
contact lenses fall out, and like you
Yeah.
can't see anything.
John wears contacts. Is that canon?
Fuck, it's canon.
That could come up later.
Oh.
Everything I say is
We're
canon.
gonna find ourselves in a fucking cave at some point, and John's
some
gonna have like a
contact
mummy
solution?
situation where he can't see shit.
He's gonna go Velma. He's like, guys, like I lost my contacts.
No, he's gonna be like the dude in the mummy. He's like walking down a dark alley, doesn't have his glasses,
Oh shit.
and then he's gonna get his eyes taken.
I'm gonna pull very lightly on the rope, not enough to like hang the guy, but like see if I can pull him down from the levitation
Yeah,
spell.
yeah, you can pull him down.
Okay, I'm gonna do that lightly though, to not like hang him.
Okay. So as it draws closer to you, it's still like levitating in the air, kind of weightlessly, but like you're pulling it closer to you. I was gonna say roll me a reflex saving throw, but that does not exist. That's like 3rd edition. Roll me. What would this be? Just roll me a Constitution saving throw. Okay, so as it pulls closer to you, it's kind of like back is turned to you, and like you jerk it one more time to get as close as possible, and it kind of like turns, and like it's like one of those scenes in the movies when it like zooms in on this thing, and it's like and like its face its face is like right up next to yours, and like there's like blood and shit coming out, and like his eyes are like his eye sockets are like out and like dangling out, and like you're not scared at all. You're just like, oh shit, he's completely fucked. But you're like within face-to-face distance. You can like grab the body and like try to put it on the ground now if you wanted.
Yeah, I'm gonna grab the body and like. I mean, I don't know. Is the levitation just gonna end if I put it on the ground?
Yeah, you would maybe.
Okay. How many? So can I put the body on the ground and get something out of my bag, or no? Is that too many actions?
I'd
Like-
say yeah.
Okay. I'm gonna put the body on the ground, but also keep the rope close enough to me that I can like make sure he's gonna stay close and not like fly up in the air again.
Okay. Yep. That all happens. So at this point, it's no more like turns really. Y'all could just speak freely. But the guy is gonna back away from the snake, and he's gonna say to you, Soraka, he saw you throw it on the staff. He's like, relinquish your serpent. And he's putting his hands up. He's like putting his wand away. He's like, let's just act about this as rational. It's like, Omat, get the fuck out here. And then like you see Omat come over here against like the window, and like he like peeks his head over the edge, and he's like looking at you, Malos, and he like puts his hand up against the glass, and he's like shaking his head slowly. And like this other guy.
Can I release that? Can I release it from him?
What is it? Does the item say you can do that?
No, it doesn't.
It only lasts 1 minute though.
Yeah.
Okay, so it'll wear off like pretty soon. You can probably tell. But this guy, the green cloaked wizard, the human guy, he walks over and like kind of presents himself close to y'all. His hands are still up. He's like, "Okay, we had a misunderstanding. Let's go about this as rational people. My name is Bruco Bone, and I am a wizard, with the Magia. That's my colleague back there. Emmett is my boss. He told me to come over here and retrieve this body. It's important for Magia, as I said. That's what I'm trying to do. Please, enough.
Okay. I say, all right, yeah, we understand. I'm sorry about the misunderstanding as well. Look, we on our way over here, we had a encounter with some very supernatural bandits. There's definitely some magic at work. We were knocked unconscious, and they just appeared around us, and they were using magic we weren't familiar with. And we came across Fallon, we rescued him, and we think this guy has something to do with the guys that attacked us. And I think Fallon would agree that he would like that information as well. So why don't we just cooperate? We'll report back to Fallon, and you can report back to your boss back there. We're all just trying to figure out what's going on here.
He's kind of like taken aback by what you said. At this point, the other guy comes out the door kind of slowly, like inches out, kind of like testing the waters. And this guy, Bruco, he kind of like, he's like, if what you say is true, then Emmett's going to want to speak to you. Everything you just said is of high importance to Emmett. He's here for a very specific reason, and Fallon is of great interest to him. So he would definitely want to talk to y'all. And he's like taking notes in his like little notepad. He puts it away, and he's like, "But yes, I agree. Like let's cooperate. Let's get this body going." And yes. And he's like kind of like stepping between y'all towards the body, or trying to like walk over here.
All right. So sorry for making that adventure decision for us, but
okay. So at this point, I would say y'all can take actions freely, whatever y'all are doing. So if y'all want to take the body back to Fallon, like along with these two wizards, or whatever from there.
Just to clarify, I know that Fallon was aware of some stuff Xavier was doing and potentially meeting with him.
Yeah, you learned through this guy, the unconscious cloaked man, that he knew that Fallon was heading out into the Outlands. He had discovered something of interest out there, and he later discovered it was like Xavier's temple where he was conducting experiments, the place that y'all have been. And Fallon would go out there frequently. He would go out there, and you don't know for what reason, because this person apparently didn't know.
Okay, I'm going to tell the party this and suggest that we might want to tread lightly and figure out what's going on.
Yeah, I was being very careful not to mention Faye.
Yeah. We might not want to blindly trust Fallon right now.
Yeah, I'm not really. All right. Are we powwowing right now? I don't really want to say this stuff in front of them.
Yeah, I would call us together for a little powwow action.
I still have the rope around the guy. I mean, I'll keep a hold in the rope and we can go powwow.
Or if Croonin wants to pull me aside, and like John, while John's like tying the rope or something, or Darian, sorry.
Okay.
Wait, before they leave, I want to ask: should we try to heal this guy, or should we just drag the body with us? Because he's still like whoa, like the eyes out of his head and bleeding everywhere.
I mean, at this point, like Darian, you're no doctor, but he looks dead as fuck. like his face is like just a bloody mess, because that's what like all that shit burst out, and his eyes were just out.
I went over to Croonin while I saw he was like kind of beckoning me toward him.
Okay, and then Bruco walks up to the body, and he's like next to you, Darian, because you have he's like, why the fuck do you have a noose around his neck? What the fuck did you do? and then you see I keep forgetting their fucking names. Omat comes behind him, and he says like quietly, like you can barely hear this, Darian, but he's like kind of standing 5 feet behind Bruco, and he's like, that's metal as fuck.
So I'm gonna pretend it was intentional to intimidate these guys, because I don't know really what they're all about. So I'm gonna be like, yeah, I did it on purpose. Don't fuck with me.
It's like, what the fuck? Okay. And he's like,
is Croonin talking to me yet?
He's like, can you untie this? And so now y'all are dealing with the body, and now y'all can talk to each other. Yeah.
I've told you these things.
Okay. All right. I mentioned that. I was like, look, I'm not trying to blindly trust Fallon. I'm just trying to figure out what the fuck is going on here. If that's how we stop making a scene and investigate the body, that's fine. I don't really have much intention of talking to Emmett right now. And by the way, Faye wants to meet with us at the mill in less than an hour. So I think we should definitely do that before we meet with Emmett. Let's just work under the pretense of finding Aglor or something. I don't know where the fuck that guy is.
Dylan, do I comprehend what happened with the rope at this point, or is that just
So, John, if you remember, there was one other time where you used the rope in some fashion, or
I don't
just
think so.
there was another time where the rope, like something happened with the rope. Like maybe it was just in your pack and you like it was just on your person and it happened, but you had like an overwhelming urge to like be super aggressive, and you may not have known at that time it was the rope, but now experiencing this feeling again in like last couple of days or whatever that was, it wouldn't be hard to tie the two experiences together.
Ha! Ha! Okay.
You have no idea where this rope is from. So, also something I forgot to mention, Malice. Whenever you like saw Sean, because you weren't in the courtyard, you didn't really see him with Emmett. But whenever like you saw them, Emmett and Sean walking away, like Sean's like this like black guy guard with like a cape. You've seen him before. His face. Like in your like younger days, you remember him from like the academy of like where you like trained
In like Trivelsrana or whatever that is, where that place is that I'm from, or that I'm sort of from.
Well, you're from Fallholt.
I'm from Fallholt, but I trained. I spent like most of my military service in the artsy place. It's like Trivelsrana or whatever.
Yeah, so you recognize him from like one of your trainings. Like maybe you didn't interact with him that much, but like you do recognize his face. Obviously, like he's aged a lot, but yeah. Okay.
And would I know anything else about him?
No, you just know he's a warrior.
Okay.
But you can tell that just by looking at him also. So y'all are dealing with the body, and then y'all just huddled up, and now y'all can do whatever you want.
All right, let's inspect this guy, and I suggest that in order to kind of continue this sort of ruse.
The ruse of.
Well, first let's I tell Croonin maybe you should inspect him and make sure he's actually dead.
I will do that.
Yeah, you can roll me a medicine check. I mean, all of y'all could, but Croonin is probably the best.
Maybe someone else should help out.
I mean, even with that low of a roll, this guy...
He's super dead.
He's very, very dead.
Okay.
Oh, Sirocco.
That's a medicine.
Yeah. I mean, he's dead, and he's probably...
Wait, let me try.
You're very well aware of how dead he is.
And Bruco would say we still need the body. This death is a very small thing with the wizards. So we can take him back to Magia and still garner some information, but we will need to take him.
That's fine. Mind if we take a look first?
Yeah. So if y'all investigated his body, I could just give y'all like 15s on it. Like it's kind of the same thing I told Cruden earlier. Like he has kind of like a fine black cloak with like no features really on it, but like his like hygiene and like fingernails and like the state of like his sandals that he's wearing are like in really bad shape. Like he looks like he's like a vagabond.
Okay. You
don't really find anything else of note on him other than just like his clothes and like he didn't even have any weapons or anything on him.
Okay. I'm gonna kind of look up and like, okay, I think we've learned what we need to here. Understand that your leader may want to chat with us. We're gonna go collect our friend real quick. Why don't we meet back at the Magia Tower here in town in say an hour and a half?
Strategic.
Okay, that sounds good. We'll meet you here, and that works for us. Come, Omat. You have a lot to answer for. And like he like slaps him on the back of the head, and like they have the body, and like he's just kind of carrying it magically with his like wand.
Okay. So they're gone.
At this point, yeah, they walk away. At this point, I'm gonna make another Avengers reference. Whenever at the end of at the last scene of Avengers, when everything is like shit and like everything's like burning in the city, and Mark Ruffalo walks up and he's just like, "Oh, this looks terrible," and he hasn't like been there the last 45 minutes of the movie. Agalor walks up right now, and he's like, "What the fuck you guys doing?"
Typical.
I kind of roll my eyes at him and gather the group.
And no perception check. His eyes are like bloodshot.
Well, I think we've all got some shit to talk about. Where the fuck have you been?
I was looking at the waves.
God, that's exactly what he would say. All right. I kind of mentioned under my breath, hey, Faye wants to meet us pretty close to now at the mill. She's probably not going to be super thrilled about this, but I don't have much intention of talking to that Emmett guy.
Did Faye Did Faye tell us that earlier, or did she just tell
She
you?
told me. She told me
Okay.
that.
Okay.
That was why I showed up running the way I did.
So the body's dead as dead can be. Agalor shows up. Should we take the body to Faye?
No, dude, we gave them the body.
They have the body. They walked away.
Oh,
with
for
it.
the hour and a half. Okay.
Nobody objected. I was trying to get us
No,
out of
it's
the
fine.
situation.
Okay. So as y'all make y'all's way out of here, and towards like the mill, Krunan, once again, you feel that wand pulsing its ass off. That wand is putting in fucking work this session. Let me tell
Yes,
you.
it is.
What is
The
the
old
wand you have?
pulsating wand.
I forgot.
The
It's like Wand of
wand
Secrets or
of
something?
secrets, and it is pulsing and directing you towards. So, let me think. Malice, you've definitely been to Fallholt. Obviously, you like grew up here or whatever. But like, I'm trying to think if anybody else has been to Fallholt. Sirocco, I'd say Krunan, you haven't been to Fallholt for sure. Darian, did you say you ever would have been to Fallholt? You or Sirocco?
I don't think so.
Probably not.
Okay. Yeah, let's say y'all are all over like here, like heading this direction. And Agalor is just like with y'all, but I'm not going to take his token out. Krunan, the wand points you this direction towards like this pier point of interest.
Okay.
And Malice, you would know that as like the general goods shop, the Haggle. I mean, it wasn't called the Haggle when you lived here, but you know that's like where the primary like shopping mall was.
Okay.
So as y'all are walking back, you notice that, Krunan. So if y'all are walking towards the mill, it's back over here.
Well, I'm gonna tell everyone that and say we might want to make a detour before we go see Faye.
Where? Sing it again.
How much time has passed, Dylan?
Since that was like actually rounds of combat, probably not that much time.
Okay.
Like each of those was 6 seconds, so I'd say less than 20 minutes.
Yeah, I say we've got some time to kill, but I think we should try to avoid the Magia guys for now.
Yeah, I don't think
I really don't want to run into. Yeah, I don't really want to run into Emmett before we talk to Faye.
Do we trust Faye more than Emmett? I mean, I feel like Faye's still been kind of a questionable character to us recently, and Emmett hasn't necessarily proved himself, but
I mean, Emmett shot you with a lightning bolt without much reaction, didn't he?
yeah, I mean, it was weird. It shouldn't have actually hit me, but it still did because that's not how my shield works. But that's okay. That's okay. Yeah, he did hit me unintentionally.
John, it hit the fuck out of you. You like Tom Cruise through a window.
So, are we going to Faye or are we going to?
The Haggle.
Let's go to the Haggle. We
Hit it
we
up.
have time to kill anyway. We don't need to meet Faye for another 40 minutes.
Let's see if Haggle has a jingle that we can listen
Let's go
to.
see Nurse Joy. Or Garfield the Deals Warlock.
Oh, hello! Okay, yeah, y'all can all move your characters over there. So y'all walk up, it's like kind of like on a pier.
Where all
Your dreams come true. Got a deal for you.
For you.
Okay, so y'all like walk on this pier, and like this, out of all the buildings you've seen, is like the most finely constructed. It's like a couple stories tall, and it's like has like huge, finely carved wooden doors. It's on the water, like peaceful waters around it since they're pretty shallow. And when you walk in, you see like a large orc with like he has the red scar symbol on his chest, like walking out, and he's like carrying like a dagger, and he kind of like he shoulders past one of you. Let's say it's Sirocco, like on the furthest side, and he just like doesn't even notice, but he just keeps walking. He's just like very large, and so y'all walk in. Yeah, to me, it's just like a classic shop setup. You've seen it before. Let me see if I have a handout for this. I think I do.
Wait, should we have been jarred by the fact that
Yeah.
there's like a Red Scar bandit orc walking out? Or is Red Scar just more mercenary?
It's your choice. I mean, Red Scar is a mercenary.
Those are the guys that attacked us.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like an entire mercenary organization. But yeah, the guys, the guild, the people that you were with that attacked you were Red Scar. Yeah.
I gotta go to bed in a minute. I gotta wake up early.
Okay, let's just go to the Haggle.
So I have a haggle handout. We've got a deal for you. So all those things are available, but basically it's just like a general goods store. But as soon as you walk in, Agalor, the shopkeep, who's like this like fat human guy, he shouts, "Hey, it's my main man! It's Agalor! What up?" And he walks over and puts his arms around like Agalor, and Agalor's just like, "What the fuck?" Like he's not in his right mind, and he just like hugs him like really tight, like got his hand around his neck, and he's like cradling him, and he's like really like familiar with him, and he's grinning widely. He's like sizing him up. He's like, "Long time no see." And Aguilar, I mean, y'all don't know this, but you can kind of tell just from his facial expression, has no idea who the fuck this person is. And that kind of happens, and like he tries to make small talk with Aguilar, and he's like non-responsive. He's like, fucking Aguilar, and he like tries to hit him in the nuts, and then he just like walks back behind the counter, and he's like, "What can I do you for? You got Aguilar here." And those are like, I mean, like you can see like the wares are very visible, like those things are available, and then like he's kind of like, if you want more specialty goods, you just ask, and I can provide if you describe it.
Is that the flaming raging poison sword of Dune up there? Because I'd like that.
That picture is not. That picture is for generic purposes.
Yeah, do we have gold at this point?
Yeah, you got all these prices here, and we don't know what they mean.
Yeah. So the gold, I would say each of y'all could like, in general, y'all could afford like buying like one or two. Like the only reason the gold's there is to show like value, because I wouldn't have a way of knowing how valuable something is, just like unless it's just obvious.
All right, so we can just buy shit. I'll take it from leadership and influence.
So I'm gonna say y'all can buy like 300, like 600 worth of something like between each of you. So you could combine your gold or whatever, but like each of you has 600 you could spend in a respective area based on like your stature in the world.
Is the chainmail a freebie? Can I trade in my for the chainmail?
Yeah, you can.
Oh, sweet.
That's why it's there, John.
Thank you.
You're gonna have to wipe some blood on it.
Yeah, your gear is kind of
I'll
like blackened and fucked up.
A little bit of blood on it for him. There's probably some blood on it from the battle, some battle at some point.
I don't think this guy. What is this guy's name?
The shopkeep.
Hey, bro, what's your name? Looks like you know our buddy Agor.
Let me do a quick thing here.
And don't say Nurse Joy.
His name is Rebarin.
Rebarn.
Rebarn?
Wait, no, it's Rebargain. Yeah.
Rebargain. Oh boy.
What's going on here?
Oh shit, I fucked that up.
Reggie Bargain.
Reggie Bargain. It's Reggie Bargain. It's Reggie Bargain. You got Reggie Bargains here. He's like
I know our boy Agor.
he's holding his arms out. He's like, we go way back. This guy, he used to hunt around these woods, and the light woods over here, and the dark woods. You know, he's over here sometimes. He comes in here, drops in. Agolor's just like mouth breathing.
Got a New York accent.
Forget about it.
Can I get a Philly
He's like,
cheesesteak?
"Hey, I'm haggling here." A Philly cheesesteak? Get the fuck out of here!
All right, what are you fools trying to buy?
I'm putting on my chainmail right now.
John's just nude.
No, I got some like undies on under my.
Is Croonin also nude, and can we see his Magnum dong?
That's the more question.
Just always.
So he says he's like, since Agolor's here, I'll give y'all a look at the secret menu, if you will. And he shows you some backroom items, and this is the list of this. So he presents like this grappling hook that looks like exactly like Link's grappling hook. It's like that style that's like powered by some like magical gas powered system. It's not like just a rope with like a hook on it. He presents that as like the prized item.
How much does
I'll
that
sell
gonna
you
cost?
this for a fine price. He's like 800 GP.
Mm.
Potions are 300.
You said we
Whetstone's like 50. Yeah. So if you just ask for it, I'll tell you what the prices are. But those are like, that's the secret menu stuff in addition to the stuff that's in the handout.
How much
Tell me
is the
about these.
whetstone?
Tell me about these Darkwood nunchucks.
He's like, yeah, harvested from a darkwood tree. Wood's unbreakable, or so they say. And he starts trying to do like a nunchuck move with them, and he just fucking hits himself in the face. And he says they're 300 GP.
So Dylan, in GameSpeak, what can you tell me about these? In D&D out of GameSpeak, what can you tell me about these nunchucks?
They're just nunchucks made out of darkwood. I mean, you want to cast detect magic or something, that you can do that, but like they're just nunchucks. They're a weapon.
Okay. Do I have to be proficient with nunchucks to use them?
I'd have to look that up.
You know what? I'm pretty into Malice's feverish axe sword dual wielding, so never mind.
You do remember what sword you wield, right?
I do. Does it have a name? Can I name it, or does it already have a name? Wait, I'm gonna ask it if it has a name in game.
Yes, and it does have a name. Its name is Olivar.
Olivar.
Do I
Like
still know of
Oliver.
any
His name's
interactions
just-
with
his
the
name's
sword?
Oliver. I'm just gonna call him Oliver.
Yeah, it's fine with that. What'd you say,
How
John?
much? Do I know anything about the sword still, or is it just only talking to Will?
What the fuck, John?
John's metagame trying to get that sword.
Your fucking character, you metagamey piece of shit. You have a fucking legendary shield. Just let me have my sentient blade.
John, the answer
Probably
is
like
the
whole
answer's
story
no.
would be like, what?
The answer is no. You don't know anything about the sword.
I'm not medic.
I haven't said shit about the sword to anybody.
Also, while this is happening, kind of like in the haggle on like the side and like the media section, Krunan, you see a newspaper. It's titled "The Conscious Cartographer," and on the front page there's a piece titled "5 Wage a War of Words for the World." That's like the big headline in all caps. And yeah, so you see that, and then
Wait, what was the title?
Sirocco, five wage a war of words for the world.
All right, I want to read that.
Okay, so it's a article, like informative, kind of think piecey about the upcoming election for the World King. And pop quiz, was this mentioned before?
Faye?
Halea. I think she told Krunan.
Yeah.
Whenever y'all were traveling, Halea told you about some person that was vying to be elected as World King. And there are 5 primary candidates: Maximar Ibis, which is the one you'd recognize that Halea talked about, the one true philosopher Kind, the illustrious Lady Syl of Neverstar, Ledrith the Mad, the Eldorian underworld man known simply as the Count, and the always bold and ambitious Regina Missa are the 5 people vying for World King. And it's just an article about each, like a profile on each one of them. Oh, battle music's still playing. And then Sirocco, if you didn't you didn't deal with the nunchucks at all, did you?
They're cursed.
No, they're
Don't
not.
touch 'em.
No, it's just
Is it
Mal-
grappling hook available? I can't remember.
yeah, the grappling hook's available.
I
Malice,
was-
if you inspected the nunchucks, like other than just asking about them,
Yeah. I
then
did.
you would have seen there was etched in the nunchuck something spelled like this. You don't really know how to pronounce it. And it's like kind of like in a foreign language. It says some words, and then it says that word. And it says, like, the language is, do you know Elven?
I think no, I know Celestial and Common.
You can't read it then.
Alright, well, I put that shit down. Yeah, I'm not super interested in anything with the grappling hook, but I'm not in love with it either. So if other people want that, it's okay.
Can I
But if
ask
there's
about
something-
the locks in the whetstone? It's just like padlocks or something?
Yeah, essentially, they're just like a variety of different types of locks, like combination keys, like ones you don't really recognize. And then a whetstone is just, it's like a good whetstone for sharpening weapons. Both of those are pretty cheap.
Yeah, the grappling hook sounds interesting, like they were saying. But can I ask if I can get a bargain on the grappling hook because of our buddy Agalor?
Well, he's like, haha, well, you're already getting to see the goods. I mean, I don't show these to any customer.
Does Agalor have money that I can... Okay, so 2 options. Can I try to take money from Agalor? I don't know if he has a shared pool that I can just, like, ask him to borrow.
I'm gonna roll for if Agalor believes in money.
No, I'm just gonna go ahead and say Alejandro would definitely say "fuck you, John."
Yeah, 100%.
I just rolled a 1, so I'm pretty sure he either doesn't believe in money or he doesn't have any.
What the fuck?
Some of both. I think.
I think it's some of both.
You're like, oh, I ate all that shit.
I burned that, blazed it up.
Can I try to persuade him to give me a discount for Agalor? Be like, but come on, you Agalor go way back. Why don't you...
Is there a barter skill? There's not a barter skill anymore.
I can
No, it's just persuasion.
persuasion.
Yeah, there used to be a barter skill. Yeah, you can do persuasion. But what are you gonna say? You're gonna say Agalor is your friend.
I ain't gonna pretend I said...
You gotta say some shit, John.
It's-
Let's see this out.
It's too late. You
well,
rolled a 1.
I just like put my arm around Agalor and I just like... Yeah, I didn't really say anything. I was just like, Agalor,
He's like,
though,
he like
I
looks
need
at you and he's like, he's squinting and he's pointing. He's like, I don't like the look of you one bit. Get away from my friend Agalor. I don't want you on him.
The cut of your jib smells. You got smelly jibs. Okay.
We definitely have enough to pull together and buy the grappling hook anyway. So
And then he actually asked your name at this point, Darian. He says like, who the fuck are you?
I tell him my name, Darian Elatarl.
And he like
The one.
he stops squinting and he's like his eyes kind of like perk up and he's like, oh, well shit. He's like, you actually fit the description. That's why I had a feeling about you. You look weird because some weird guy left a note here, and he hands you a small like scroll, like a note, and he hands over to you. And it looks like it has nothing written on it, but he hands it to you.
There's just nothing on both sides of the paper.
Do you grab it?
Yeah.
Okay. So once you touch it, yeah, there's nothing written on it, but you
Is
begin.
everything fucking cursed in this campaign?
But you begin to hear a voice in your head, and it's a familiar voice. It's Windion's voice. And he says, I am bound away. I'm not sure what has happened, what I am, but I must be away. He's like, I should be dead. I don't know where I was, but I woke up, and I'm leaving this note for 2 reasons. One, to warn you about the individual we traveled to Fallholt with, the Mayor Fallon. He was my target. And again, like, John, you remember what Windion told you earlier?
Yeah.
He's like, he was my target. I identified him during our battle at the ruins. I was assigned to this job to assassinate him, this so-called mayor. He is the high-ranking member of a secretive warrior sect. They use blood to empower themselves, and they are single-minded in their convictions to vanquish their opponents. That's as much as I know about them. I do not know the reason his death was ordered specifically. It could just be a grudge or a competition notwithstanding his character. But be wary of him. Merely seeing him on the battlefield has made me second-guess his true nature. Secondly, I wish to tell you something about my former colleagues. This is incredibly difficult to write now, but I feel as though I should be dead right now, and this has almost died with me, so I feel someone should know, and you're the only person that I know at this point. There were 4 of us. 2 were killed in the east within Zelvaka. It is quite a tale. Perhaps it will one day be told in full, as I can't tell it here. Nevertheless, only 2 of us remain, myself and my former associate, my friend, Zeru. This is the person I will now be seeking out. We were fellow rogues, thieves, assassins, tricksters of no small renown for many years. We made our way across Arafel all the way down to Ishnasor, living like spiritual kings, before joining into Faye's cause. But we made a mistake. We crossed the wrong people. The Sanguine, no. Like, you can see, like, you can, like, feel him, like kind of struggling. Sanguine, no. The Sanguire Enclave, a collection of bloody scoundrels worse than the Syndicate itself, in my own opinion. Zeru was captured, I barely escaped. Now I plan to find him. Release him if I can, or discover his fate, whatever it may be. But I do not plan to go alone. I seek our master, our mentor, the person who trained Zeru and I. I seek the Night Shroud. You can roll me a history check to see if you recognize that name. The most legendary rogue of all, and from what I can gather, an immortal. I don't expect you to follow me or do anything for my sake. Simply, I just wanted to place my trust in you and tell you these things, because I don't have anyone else to tell. Perhaps we shall meet again. Good luck. And then the note just like burns in your hand.
Okay, I'm gonna preload an action and.
We're all like, what? I'm like, what the fuck just happened?
None of y'all heard that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know, but we saw a note burn in his hand, right?
Yeah.
We were watching their like interaction. And I'm like, what the fuck just happened? That was just a blank piece of paper that's caught on fire in your hand.
I'm gonna say we'll talk about it later after we're out of the store, and I'll preload an action to tell them after we're out of here.
Okay, that's really weird. I'm gonna pull out my
Reggie Bargains is like, that was a tricky note there. That was neat.
Yeah, I'm with you, Reggie. And I pull out my old longsword and I kind of lay it on the table. I'm like, look, how about this longsword plus 600 GP for the grappling hook?
He like looks over the longsword, kind of like weighs its balance, and he's like, for a buddy of Agalor, you got it. And he gives you the grappling hook.
Nice.
All right, I'm removing this longsword from my inventory and adding a grappling hook. I look over at Darren and I was like, maybe I'll let you use your knife.
I forgot I have a bunch of junk in my bag.
Okay.
What is the silver sheen? Can I get some more information on that? I guess maybe I recognize the holy symbols, and that kind of piques my interest.
Wait, Dylan, this grappling hook's like a gas powered. It's not like the grappling hook that's in the.
I'll send you a picture of what the grappling hook looks like right now.
Okay.
The silver sheen, you could tell it's kind of like holy water, because you know what that is.
That's it?
Yeah, and holy water is something that can be useful against certain types of things.
I'll take some of that. How much was the whetstone?
Like 50 GP.
I'll do that as well.
Okay. Can y'all keep track of your own gold?
Yeah.
I got a whole
Is
lot of. I got
Is the
0 gold
potion?
with
How
one
much is
GC.
the potion of Magic Fang?
What's Potion of Blur?
Yeah, both the potions.
Potion of Blur, I'm pretty sure just hastes you. Potion of Magic Fang, you said?
Yeah.
That says what it does, right?
Yeah, but like, how long is the duration?
It'd be like a minute. Normally these things are like a minute, which is like 10 rounds in combat.
I'll take the Potion of Blur.
No, Potion of Blur is not haste. I misspoke. Your body becomes blurred, shifting. It's like the blur spell. Your body becomes blurred, shifting, wavering, and everything has disadvantage on rolls against you for a minute. So it's like a defensive thing.
That still sounds cool.
Should 4 and 5 be the same? The same item, but they have different descriptions. I don't know if they're supposed to be like that.
Yeah, I think this was generated from like a generator, so that's just how it rolled out.
Okay.
Everything except for the last two, I think, were generated.
I'll also take a potion of cure moderate wounds. Just
That tap you out?
on
Okay.
my 600, yeah.
Yeah, okay. Y'all keep track of your own inventories. I'm not. So
Hey Dylan, I can't find an item for the grappling hook outside of just like a normal like thing you would tie.
yeah, because
Like
it's
the hook
something
you
that
tie
I can write up rules for.
Okay,
but,
cool. All right.
It's gonna work the way it probably should. It's not gonna be like weird or anything.
Okay.
I just
So,
have to come up with
I-
the rules in the game for it.
Yeah, okay. That's what I was mainly asking. Was like, what are the rules in the game on that? But we can get to that when we come to it.
Yep. I don't think I've written them yet. Okay, so what are y'all doing now? If y'all are just so like Alex, you still there? You said you had to go to bed, or did you already go to bed?
Yeah, I do have to go.
If y'all want to just fast track, because like I'm assuming y'all are going to go to the mill after this.
Yeah.
I can just get through that exposition because there's a bit.
Okay, that's fine.
So as y'all step into the mill, this is like now like dusk, sun setting. It's like later in the day. You see Faye standing there, and like the mill is currently uninhabited. It looks like it's running, like the mill is going, and it's just like this large room, and like the sunlight's kind of streaming in. It's like open to the air. There's like some windows, and she's like leaning against a post in the middle of this like huge room. Rays of sunlight stream in through the wheel where the mill wheel stands, kind of like basking the entire area in a glow. She looks up at you and motions you in, and before she says anything, like as y'all are like walking in, she waves her hands. She begins to like walk around the perimeter of the room, and she starts waving her hands all around the walls. And then she brings her hand up to her face, making like the silence motion with her index finger to her lips. And then she begins to like speak, and you can hear. But yeah, she like crosses the entire perimeter. She says, "No magic can now enter this place, such as the prying mind of a particular wizard we all now know, and one who looks like he just soiled himself out there in front of half the town. His constituents, in a way. It was quite amusing to see this great mind mage laid low. By the looks of it, judging by the tenor of his scream and the motioning of his hands, it appeared that whatever that person was did something to him of a magical nature, used the last of his dying breath to do something, as Raphael told me, and not just any kind, but one designed specifically for the target. I've seen such a spell before. I would have done anything to actually be there myself." And like Raphael kind of steps out. He's like kind of like over in the corner, but he's like not nearby. And she says, "But I have gathered all of you here for a specific purpose. I wish to relay some information, a theory, and what I propose our next plan of action should be." And she's like kind of like getting into it. And at this point, y'all can say whatever you wanted before she goes off. The battle music's still playing.
I don't really have anything to say. I don't think.
Yeah, I kind of mentioned that Emmett might be looking for us. We got ourselves in a bit of a sticky situation, and I told a half truth, and the Magia wizards are fairly interested, so I think we should avoid him and get out of town.
And yeah, also once we walked the building, I told them about how Windy on
The
was
Windy on
actually
stuff?
Yeah.
Okay, I definitely asked about that. I was like, what the fuck is he talking about?
So yeah, I guess once we're out of the building, I'll just say that like when I met Windy, and he said that he was looking for someone to assassinate, like a target, and it ended up being Fallon, but for some reason he didn't complete the mission because he thought that there was more than just I forget what the note said exactly, but more or less he changed his mind about trying to target him.
Well, he got knocked out by the Sinja at one point.
Okay.
That's why, I mean, he was unconscious. So he was the one that y'all were pretty sure wasn't dead.
Okay.
And whenever you tell Aglor this, he'd be like, "I saw some shit on the rocks." but he
What?
doesn't. But he doesn't elaborate.
Awesome.
What the fuck?
Looking worthless ass Igor.
Okay, so all this would be like on y'all's way over to the
Yeah.
Okay.
So I wanna. No, I guess I already told them everything. So
Okay. So Faye is kind of like pacing back and forth, and she's kind of like she's got her hand to her face, and she's like deep in thought before she like starts laying these things out. But she says, "I wish to relay information, a theory, and a plan of action." She says, first, given the facts before us, and there are many, I think we can draw some inferences, if not conclusions. The Red Scar and Gilvarneck did not attack Fallholt. They entered, perhaps infiltrated this town, merely to capture Fallon. Seemingly, almost definitely, with the help of the Syndicate. I don't think they could have done it themselves. It's such an operation I wouldn't trust these orcs to do. And as we heard Fallon describe it, assuming he was telling the truth, I think he mostly is. He was accosted in his keep and taken away. That brings me to the next point. Why take Fallon? Where were they taking him? If only we could have tracked them, interrogated them. It's a shame that the things ended up the way they did, because we would have gathered a lot more information if we had just held off. They were in our midst before we knew what the fuck was happening. But alas, it's clear Fallon held some value to them specifically. I don't know a lot about this man, but I intend to find out. Finally, Emmett is here, making it his business personally to inspect the situation and even interrogate our Mayor Fallon. This is unusual. I cannot stress by how much, and this is the most important piece of information we have. Emmett doesn't do this. Even if a political leader is kidnapped, it's happened before, he wouldn't give a shit. This is small time to Magia. Magia's entire telos is the investigation, understanding, and control of magical forces in the world. They tout the importance of the responsible use of magic, an ideal that I share. But as I said, they have come under the influence of much darker and more forceful ideas than when I presided over the guild. They seek security through power, through fear, and through control. Knowing this and bearing witness to the altercation at the mansion, he's tracking something, and it has led him here. I've seen Emmett at work before. He was putting on a show there. He knew everyone in the small town was watching. He was sowing unrest. He was trying to shake information loose from potential opponents of Fallon, dirt they might have on him, which he can later gather more easily. And now he's been attacked, which will give him all the reason he needs to bring in a full squad of wizards to sweep this place and interrogate Fallon under every inch of the realm's law. Now here's my theory. I don't think it's hard to tell. Fallon has a secret. I don't know what it is, but he's the source of what's currently happening here. The Syndicate wanted him, and Emmett's onto him, and so now so are we. Fallon is the harbinger of some kind of magic, and I want to find out. That's all I have. I don't know how much of this you were able to gather yourselves, but I want to share this information, and I want to know what any ideas y'all have.
I mean, I'd tell her what I know about Fallon.
Yeah, I'm kind of hesitant because I'm still not sure if I should trust her entirely, but I will tell her like kind of what I got from Windian, because she said she knew Windian, right? And she was like, I don't remember his relationship to her.
Well, Windian was one of the people like working for her, so he was like, she knew him in like the same manner that she knows y'all, but just she knew him slightly longer. So if she knew that Windian escaped, she would say, well, we were sure he wasn't dead. I guess we left him with the guards at the beginning. We left him and the other bodies, the guards at the entrance of the town. I
kind of forgot.
that was probably regrettable, but if he woke up and escaped and left you this note with all this crazy shit in it, that's pretty wild, my guy. But I don't know what to do with that information. I mean, we can go after him, but he was a hard person to find in the first place. I valued his services. He was super effective, but I didn't know he was an assassin. I thought he was a ranger. I
mean, I want to ask, I guess in general, why would he be a target? Why would Fallon be a target for those orcs then? And I don't know if, not saying we should trust like that the orcs were doing something right, but I don't know whose side we should be on. Whether we should actually be like supporting him, Fallon.
Malice is just kind of like, yo, what are we doing here? Like what has happened? I don't understand what I'm confused as to what our purpose is even. Frankly, I don't know that you've been totally open with us. All kinds of weird shit is going on. I don't really know where my place in all this falls.
Right. We are now caught up in something that I didn't anticipate, and it's not something that I necessarily wanted y'all involved in. Not because it's a secret or anything. It's just this is all uncharted territory for me. So I mean, obviously, I entreated y'all to help with me in my operation, as I explained earlier, because I saw y'all as valuable people and companions to have on my side, and to just go out in the world and do the things that you already did, seek out information, adventure, and and just share in my knowledge with you to better that. And that was the whole point of our arrangement at the beginning, if you remember. This was, I wanted to entreat y'all to help me, and this now, sending you out to infiltrate the Gilvarneck and his band was something that that is the type of work that I would have for people at your level in my organization, to be honest. And that was something that I didn't anticipate, obviously, how it played out. And now we are just following the threads, and there's, like I said, this is all uncharted territory. So if you were to say, what is the purpose? It's just find out what the fuck's going on. Obviously, you don't have to be here, but that's, as I said, I've laid out everything.
I'm like, I kind of sigh. I'm like, I'm gonna need a raise. And I just kind of like kick it.
She like smiles and she's like, y'all still haven't even entreated the one thing that kind of got you on the job, your request. None of y'all have cashed that in.
I got mine in.
And what was that?
What?
Well, did you get the?
Not that it's anybody's damn business, but killing Gilvarneck.
Oh, that wasn't your demand, as far as I know. That was something that my scouts found, and I brought it to your attention because I knew you'd want to know about it.
Wait, sorry. I thought my request of Faye was that I wanted to know where Gilvarneck was.
That was not information that was shared with her. That wasn't like she knew about your history. Whether you told her or not, she already knew, and it was just contemporaneously it happened that way. It wasn't necessarily like she sent out scouts to find Gilvarneck. So that was my understanding. That was not the request. So she would say now, well, if that's what you think, then that was a miscommunication, because that is not my understanding of how things played out. But anyways, the point is, y'all are under my wing right now to help with this, but at this point, you're just doing me a favor to stay here. This isn't like work that I would assign you for. I mean, you can have a raise, quote unquote, but the whole point of this operation is that you are allowed to share in my vast network of resources. And that's already payment enough. And then anything you can ask for as far as outfitting, I can help you with, me and Bo.
I kind of looked at everybody else. Malice is kind of at a loss of what to do here. He doesn't totally know his place because what he was trying to achieve has sort of been achieved.
I'm still kind of confused on. I mean,
I'm just imagining Malice, that picture of like the guy on the beach where like his face is like in the like background, and then he's standing on the beach with like sand running through his fingers, and like he's like running on the beach in the background. It's like, what do I do now?
Well, he is. It's the classic like, I got my vengeance and I feel kind of empty.
Yeah.
And so sort of all Malice has right now is he's like, well, I'm fucking miles away from where I trained, and I've got my friends and this fucking crazy wizard bitch that doesn't seem to know what the fuck is going on. And
I want to ask
he's
the
kinda
party
confused by
if we should try to go after Fallon to like interrogate him for the stuff that Windian told us, or if that's something we should deal with later.
Well, Raphael knows Fallon, doesn't he? Didn't they like clasp arms in the battle?
Yeah, they know each other.
I feel like we need to
Raphael, what the fuck is up with Fallon?
kidnap
See with
Fallon
us?
or something.
He's like me, and Raphael's in the room as well. He's just kind of sitting off in the back.
Okay.
Raphael would say, he's like this, and like he's hearing all this as well also, and he's like, this is news to me. I mean, me and Fallon go way back. Like I knew him back in, I would work these woods as a ranger in and around Fallholt, and I mean, obviously I knew Fallon well. I was in and out of Fallholt all the time. I had no idea. I thought he was like a bookman. Like I didn't think he was a fucking warrior. Like everything he was doing on the battlefield in the ruins, like I'd never seen any of that shit. We didn't spar together. We had drinks and we would talk about like women and like politics because he was a politician, and like it took him hunting like once and he's fucking couldn't even aim. I have no idea where the fuck he learned how to fight.
That's the same impression I had. I actually know from way back. Fallout's my original home, so he and I we're young men here. But he certainly wasn't the fighting type. He was just more of an
he's sharp as a tack, but I don't know, like he's held this secret from me, and it's not like I lived here. I didn't grow up in Fallholt. I've just been in and out of here, so maybe you know him even better than me, but I don't know. Yeah, I mean, I feel like I can't trust him now. I can maybe help y'all interact with him because of our history, but as far as more information, as far as what Windion said, what the fuck is all that?
Yeah, I mean, I'm confused who to trust at this point. Who's on whose side?
Faye would say she was like, actually, I was going to send Raphael out into the surrounding area here in the next day or so to try to gather potential information, tracks into and out of town, see how the Red Scar got in, any other strange phenomenon in the forests and grasslands around the river Song, which is the river that runs nearby. And Raphael was like, had agreed to that. He's like, yeah, that's what I'm going to do. So if y'all don't have any more questions or anything, Faye would get to like her like plan of action, and this will be like the last thing for this session. She says, so walking about this city for the first time in many years as I got away from Emmett before he got in my head, as before, believe me. I did notice in the Halls district where kind of that whole thing happened, that's where the mercenaries are, and they have a pretty strong presence here in Fallholt because they go into the Outlands. And there was a large red flag emblazoned over one of the halls, so the symbol of the Red Scar, as we now know. And they've never had any operations in Fallholt. This is new information, and it indicates that this attack might have come from inside the town. These registers mercenaries attacking their own town's mayor. Bold, but not impossible. So needless to say, the Red Scar won't be here for much longer. What I wish for y'all to do, if you're so inclined, is for you to go and investigate that hall, because I think there's going to be information in there that we need to find. And the Red Scar, whether they're there or not, you need to get in and see what you might find as far as clues. As for me, I plan to use my magic somehow. I need to figure out more of the geography of Fallon's mansion, but I plan to get inside there and search for more. And I won't take any strong actions until I have a better understanding of the situation, and that is my plan. And I want us to all meet a mile to the east of Fallholt across the river with Raphael in about 4 hours or so. That should give you enough time to investigate the hall and then get out and see if you can find any valuable information. That's the plan I propose. If there's any questions or modifications you want to make to it or concerns, me and Raphael are all ears.
Sounds good to me. We should just wait till our buddy Agalor is alive in this world to follow up on that.
Darren, what are you talking about? He's standing right here.
He's not alive in this world.
I'm alluding to.
At this
Sounds
point,
good.
at this point, Agalor would like
Whatever
peek.
Hunter's-
He would like peek over and he'd like look at Faye and he'd be like, "What are you talking about, you bitch?" And Malice, you used to work in the mill, right? You lived near it, the old mill.
Yeah, I used to work in it.
Yeah. So you can tell, like, kind of inspecting this, the mill isn't like abandoned, like it's in tip-top shape, but it's completely unmanned now. It appears to run autonomously through magic, and that's not how it used to run. That's just like what you can garner by standing in the mill for this long, for this like half-hour discussion.
That's kind of bizarre. I'm just gonna keep that info to myself.
I mean, everybody else can tell there's nobody working in the mill, and the mill is running right now. And it's like, I mean, obviously the water's just like running through it, but like, it looks like it's in good shape.
Fine. As I'm walking away, I'm like, didn't quite used to run on magic like this when I was here.
Okay, everybody can go to bed now. I release you.
Okay.
Sick.